Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings online, and I do promise the blue skies will return, but right now it is nighttime in Gondor, and the big thing with today's stream is that I am doing After Battle Pelennor. So we finished the Battle of Pelennor Fields and now the skies have cleared with all the Shadow of Mordor stuff going on, and I'm very excited to be questing in an area that has just like open feeling skies like that. It's kind of like coming out of Moria. Actually, to me, it's almost felt more significant than any of my recent Moria adventures. Maybe I've gotten too used to Moria and not used enough to Gondor pre-battle, so it's very nice for me. And I know I got started with the stream a little bit late. I also do have a few announcements to make that I don't want to forget, but while I do that stuff, I want to quickly maybe see what I need to do with questing. So I think I need to head to Osgiliath in general. Don't want to do the Wounded Path, the things in Minas Tirith. I'd rather do the Pelennor stuff right now. We might eventually revisit Minas Tirith, but that's not looking all too likely at the moment. How about these two places? These four places maybe, actually. We'll start heading south. How about that? And while I am headed that way, first off, with getting the stream started late, I was having some issues with actually YouTube getting that started. And then the other announcements that I wanted to make is, first of all, the buzzing noise on the microphone is an issue with the microphone, I believe. I've tested 3 wires now, the 3 wires I have that actually go to the microphone. It's a USB Blue Snowball Ice, I think, is the microphone I have. And I also tested it on my laptop and it always had that buzzing noise. So hopefully, or not hopefully, I actually will be getting a new microphone soon. So I'm excited for that. I will be upgrading to an XLR microphone. I've never used one of those. But also, hopefully, now that I remember the point of that, the current microphone I have, I changed some settings on OBS, so hopefully all you can hear me fine and the audio sounds pretty normal, but it might cut out the buzzing, especially when I'm not talking. Hello to Dur Zombie and Blockmaster Scott and Chris. And yes, Minas Tirith is quite annoying with all the lag and stuttering. I ultimately just agree with that. And you said Blockmaster Scott, for you it was fighting so long and hard in Moria, so After Battle Pelennor was a breath of fresh air for you as well. Yeah, for me, compared to Moria, I feel like, okay, buzzing is not noticeable. That is actually a good thing. That is one thing. I did listen to it, and for me, the buzzing always bothered me, actually, because I usually have my volume up really loud when I'm listening to whatever to just check on the audio. So I always noticed the buzzing, but when I had it at normal volumes, that is when it was less noticeable. But either way, should have that fixed with a new microphone and better audio in general when that comes in. So that was all I needed to do here, okay. But yeah, with Moria versus Gondor, I feel like Gondor is a place that should be pretty. I really got that sense that it was almost more oppressive than Moria, just because it was a place that felt like it should have great blue skies, like being able to see the sky and not be cloudy and red tinted all the time, kind of yellowish red tinted, that it was for Mordor. So for me, it was like a bigger relief, I guess, once we finished the battle. Even getting to the battle, the sky started to clear, and I know it's been a big theme of things I've talked about. That's why it made it into the thumbnail. It's a big thing I'm excited about questing here, just being in a more open area for this character. More open feeling is the sense I actually get. Kind of like Moria feels very closed off. That's the sense I was getting from Gondor, but it's an outdoor place. It's a huge region. Thinking of like Western Gondor was also blue skies. That's actually one part of it that almost made it more annoying once you got to Central Gondor, because you did have a tease of Gondor with blue skies in Western Gondor. And then for all the pre-battle stuff, after that, it was always cloudy and, again, red tinted, that type of stuff. So yeah, because Gondor feels like it should be open, and it never was at that point, is why it felt more satisfying, more nice, I guess, to get done with the battle compared to leaving Moria. Now, I don't know, way back in the day with Moria, I also really wanted to get on Moria way back in the day, so perhaps it's just this was my first actual thorough playthrough, the Central Gondor and Beyond content. So perhaps it's partially because that was just my first big playthrough through it, kind of like my first playthrough with Moria. I really wanted to get out, I really wanted to avoid Moria. That's what I feel like about pre-battle Gondor right now. So Holmes, and hello Yoltman, but Holmes, you said you've been watching some of my videos now, and I have good content. Oh, my videos are good content. Well, I'm glad you find my videos to be good content. There's some Haradrim here. I guess they got left over and unfortunately weren't dealt with during the battle. They were trying to hide in this, it looks like, partially destructed tent, and they had a Swan Knight captured, maybe. But there's Rossarin. Have no idea who Rossarin is, but we just found him. Need to find one more person to the northeast, it looks like. But yeah, unfortunately right now it is nighttime. I have had some bad luck playing at nighttime in game, and it's evening, so it'll be nighttime for a while. And I feel like there was a time period in late 2020, I'm thinking, or on my Anor LM, actually. I remember this also on my Anor LM, might have had it some in late 2020, but I seem to have this really bad streak of playing only during night in game. And for a long while, that's what it felt like. I was only playing during night, and this is just bringing back the memories of that. Sometimes it could be nice to play during night, but I'm excited to have the sunny skies here in Gondor. So it's a little bit of a disappointing thing to start. And anyway, Holmes, to get back to your message, you said somebody that played back in 2011, 2012. I'm wondering what was going on with the game. I actually forget what was released exactly then. Maybe that's when they started with some of the Rohan and Gondor type stuff way back then. That's a long time ago. That's 9 to 10 years ago. Maybe that was a more Rise of Isengard type era. I don't think Gondor was quite out in 2012. Any of the Gondor zones for that matter. What do we have? Haradrim supplies. Did that just randomly happen upon one of these? New deed. There's a deed for these? This shows how much I have done this. I didn't even know there was a deed for Haradrim supplies here. This is the main chunk. Oh yeah, that's like, I guess that's like treasure caches, but it's Haradrim remnants instead. This is probably something I could pull up the LOTRO wiki and get a nice map of all of those and make sure I get them while questing. Anyway, Dur Zombie, I do agree with you. I know I'm going slow with the chat, getting all distracted by the stuff in game, but you said my videos haven't been bad or anything, but they have increased in quality a lot, and that's how I feel. When some people say they've like watched my content for such a long time, I always think my content has improved a lot compared to what it used to be, and I don't think it was quite as good back in the day. And I always try to improve. That's why I always feel like my videos get better and better over time. And then you asked if I'm planning on doing every raid and instance on my journey on the server, and that is the plan with my kinship. So we should be getting to Throne of the Dread here fairly soon. I think some people are still leveling to 105, and I know my kin leader has been a bit busy and less active the past couple weeks actually, but I think he'll be getting back to more normal playtime and should be more normal grouping when that happens, maybe starting next week. Now I will, I guess as a little preview, have a period of inactivity coming in a couple weeks this month. I almost feel like I need to do a full channel update video for that because it'll be a little bit over a week probably of no content. No content, but I'm going to try. I try this every time I expect a break from YouTube. I'm going to just hide these quests. And we need to head north, it looks like. Oh, I need to head way southwest, actually. Let's go ahead and get all the southern stuff done. I do want to do the tasks here. I have to keep in mind if I ever loot any task items, that is, that I want to save them. But yeah, I always try, when I know I'm going to have a break, I try to have some videos ready to upload. I'm going to try again, but no guarantees on that. My plan has been, I've been doing all these tier lists lately. I guess I've only uploaded 2 of those. I have recorded 4 of them total, so like halfway done. But my goal and plan is to do the 2 tier lists that I have recorded, and then I'll probably try to do some other commentaries that aren't premiere style, and we'll save those for over the break. That is the plan, so y'all can still have a couple videos and some content. Yeah, it'd be really nice if it was daytime right now. It's still nice seeing the stars, though. That was one thing lacking in the pre-battle Gondor, was starry skies. So we at least get that. It's just not as bright. It's actually pretty open feeling still, but just not as bright and, well, sunny, of course. And my war steed decided to get stuck in midair. Can't even turn the camera right there. Dismount? Oh, that killed me. See, if you try to get off the war steed while it's stuck, you don't die, you get incapacitated. You don't really ever die in LOTRO, as far as I know. I think I've brought this up before, but dying in LOTRO, because you technically get like incapacitated or defeated, I believe. If you did die, that would be like deleting your character, I assume. Like if they ever did a hardcore server, that is when your character would actually die rather than just be defeated in battle, or defeated by air, which sometimes happens. I got a Tome of Defense from something. I won my Hobbit gifts, that's right. I honestly don't remember. Wait, I think there's an invisible wall there. I'm probably going to be running into these invisible walls a lot here, so I might actually just try to take a different path so that doesn't happen again. Actually go out of the wreckage a little bit, but I got these Virtue XP things, and I am at a point, because we just had the Virtue boost, the 20% Virtue boost, I think last weekend. I can hardly remember because that just felt like it was such a long time ago, and I'm at a point where I don't know if I want to save a bunch of these again so I can just get a lot of Virtue XP during the Virtue XP boost whenever the next one is coming. Because I also don't know when the next one is coming, but also I could just go ahead and use them and get them out of the way. I know they can take a lot of storage space. Now, one thing I could do is make an alt or dedicate an alt just to holding Virtue XP, and that'd probably be a good option because utilizing the 10% or 20% boost I find to be very helpful. So that one Muhammad, you said you wish you can play with me, but you're on a different server. Yeah, that's one tough thing. I've always wanted to do like a stream event every once in a while, playing with viewers and the such. There's a lot of scaling content. While epic battles don't really scale too well, there is some scaling content. I wonder why these trees are disappearing. I know people have had issues with things like that, but they're just disappearing as I'm moving, and now they're all popping in again. A lot of people have talked about that issue recently, and that was a prime example, I feel like, of that actually happening in the game, where some of the landscape just disappears for a while, or some of the, not the landscape, but the trees. So it looks like we are mining for ore. I guess this character, even though I am not a prospector, is skilled enough to mine for whatever junky ore this is. Do I need to go north more? I do not. So I have all my Pelennor quest tracks, so there should not be any others in the southern area here. I'm really interested to see how I enjoy the questing. So far it's not been bad. We've done very limited quests, I feel like, on actual Pelennor Fields part of the After Battle, but it hasn't been bad. There just hasn't been much activity yet. And this is a concern for a zone like this. If it keeps on at this pace without much activity, I feel like that's when it could become a boring zone to me. Because right now, a quest like this is just like randomly out of place. But it's not bad to have a set of quests like this where you're just exploring a little bit of the After Battle Pelennor Fields. Anyway, I don't remember if I finished my topic. This always happens, I feel like, when I haven't streamed for a while. It just takes a while for me to actually get used to talking and going on about things. I feel like there's this time period I just have to actually settle in, and it's been a long while since I've streamed, I believe. Been a busy week for me. I don't think I did Thursday, so I did Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday I did not. I was kind of hoping to Friday, or I kind of had it somewhat planned, not very solidly planned that I would Friday, and ultimately never got around to it. And then today is Saturday. And I don't remember if I had a video during that period. I honestly don't remember when my last video was. Maybe Monday? I don't think I had one either Thursday or Friday. Definitely didn't have one Friday. And I don't think I did one Thursday, so I have to actually remind myself of when I did videos recently, because I know my zone tier list was my last one. Oh, I did have a video on Tuesday evening with the patch notes, a short little video, which YouTube has been doing a lot of different things with the shorts feature. That is where that video kind of came from and why it was vertically placed. For people that don't know, shorts are a new-ish YouTube feature. I think they've been around for a good few months now. Maybe like 8 or so months, maybe even a little bit more, since that feature was starting to be rolled out. And I think it's still like an in-progress feature, but they've been doing a lot of updates with shorts, and I guess making sure those videos work the way intended. So I don't know how shorts with like my channel will actually work in the future, but some of the first ones I did, which were mainly scenery type stuff in LOTRO, they did surprisingly well, I guess, with the shorts feature specifically. But so far, this one actually, most of the views have just been like the regular sources as far as my YouTube analytics goes. But that was a whole distraction, got way off topic there. I was talking about servers and people playing on different servers, and basically it is unfortunate with the game that there's no cross-server integration. I can't really play with people as much as I'd like. There are some viewers that, like, on the Pelennor server, they play with, or are in my kinship, and I've played with them. Ooh, we might be getting some action here. Or maybe this is just a few leftover orcs that were unfortunately not dealt with in battle, that have captured. After the huge battles, these 4 orcs appear to think that they can just capture this guy. Maybe they did successfully. Either that or he's dead. He's the captain of the South Gate. He made it all the way to the North Gate area. Wow. So yeah, these orcs were actually just hanging around. And Jigsaw, this is the giant YouTube sensation, Louis 7. Actually, I'm not sure I'm a giant YouTube sensation. This is regular Louis 7. Okay, we have a final captain, and we have Ingold. Ingold was the Northgate captain, I believe. Then we have complete. And then place the ore in the forge. Looks like silver ore, if I had to guess. I guess I should have just said, hey y'all, because I just logged in, but I just saw somebody posted a message. There's some blue tints here. I don't remember who is blue, Easterlings or the Herodrum. I'm thinking the Easterlings maybe have the blue color there. I can't tell by the markings if that's Easterling or not, though. So Jigsaw, you're wondering if I can remember you when I make fat stacks and have a toilet made of pure gold. I don't know if I would like a toilet made of pure gold. That would be a little bit scary. So we have, after the Great Battle, it seems like most of the things that are left are crawlers, flies, and rats. The crawlers probably, actually don't know if these crawlers would feast on the bodies. Don't know what the rats feast on. I don't know if they would actually like feed on leftover meat from various creatures. Oh no, somebody brought up my inventory. That is scary. Yeah, my inventory is scary. It definitely needs some cleaning. It is... It's not even that organized. Sometimes when it's this full, it's organized, but right now it is not. Even with the whole organized button that sorts all my items, it does not really sort them very organized in an organized manner right now. Got a bunch of essence boxes, not sure what I'll want from those yet. Probably physical mastery. Oh, what do I need to do? There's something I need to do here. It's the white one, the final captain. Okay, probably to the northeast or southwest here is where I'm guessing. But anyway, Jigsaw 717, I can remember you if I ever do that. Here's some Mordor orcs. Don't see a captain. Maybe there's a captain to the northwest here. You think Shumug's a captain? I'm not even going to look what he counts as, but he doesn't look too much like a captain to me, but maybe he is. He just doesn't quite look like it. He has a couple allies, maybe he's captaining these two specific orcs. Oh, apparently he's the Bane of the Rohirrim. He didn't even look all that good of an orc. I guess I underestimated him. Actually, I don't even know if it was possible to underestimate him just because of how easy he was to deal with. If I had assumed he was the captain, that would have been overestimating him based on that experience. And he was really the Bane of the Rohirrim and went down that easily? That is crazy. Anyway, that totally distracted me. We need to do the guy at the North Gate here, or the ex-North Gate guy who don't know his fate quite yet. So Chris, you have found it hard to find javelins on an Nord to get legacies before you imbue. You don't have enough marks and medallions to spam a bunch of skirmishes. Oh, from skirmishes. So for marks and medallions, one thing you can do is run instances like group content. But for javelins, see, I have so many legendary weapons that I have just been getting on this Warden. I could honestly, if I had bothered to pay attention to what I have gotten, I could just like send you some since I am on a Nor. It's something I wouldn't mind doing since I don't really care about third agers at this point. You can slowly accumulate the shards, which can be useful for either alts or very slowly getting scrolls of empowerment. But yeah, for getting third agers, I just get so many from regular questing and leveling. Especially if I do Slayer deeds or something like that is when I can really accumulate them, or doing group content. So those are, I guess, the three big things. How I have just passively gotten so many. So I think we need to go to outside Osgiliath, and I was not paying attention. Was that guy alive or not? I talked to somebody or clicked somebody, but I don't know if they were alive or dead. Because I got progress on the quest. I just don't know what happened to Inglewood, actually. Okay, so for the book quest, we need to go to the western entrance of Osgiliath, but I'm not sure if we'll do the book quest after that, if it goes into After Battle Osgiliath, or not. So you've gotten lots of main hands, but haven't gotten a single javelin. Wow. I wonder if that's bad luck or the javelins somehow have a lower drop rate. I don't think I paid attention to what I've gotten, but in my inventory I have 3 main hand weapons and no javelins, so perhaps there is something to that.
I'm proud to say my fortunes have changed for the better.
Okay, so this is, yeah, defeat enemies in Osgiliath. I guess there are enough enemies left in Osgiliath that I can defeat some. I know the big focus of the battle that you actually experience in the game is not around Osgiliath. I'm guessing a lot of the enemies left Osgiliath to siege Minas Tirith is why that is. But it's something that I don't think is really covered at all in the battle. It's just the Battle of Pelennor Fields, not really much involvement from Osgiliath there. So it will be interesting for me to actually look in Osgiliath a little bit, see if anything much has changed, besides a huge lack of enemies, I assume. Also should point out that it is really warm here. I briefly turned on the air conditioner, actually. It's the first day I had to this year. I might have to get up and turn it on again if it gets too warm. I think it got to the low 80s outside and had my windows open the whole time, so it was, for me at least, felt quite warm in here for a while. I've gotten too used to the cold winters and it being like the low to mid 60s inside. So, Demian, I do not know when the graphics update is going to come out, and I made a video on this, but I'm not sure that ever will happen. Now, I will say EG7, they did a recent community update. I thought about doing a video on this, and they oddly never mentioned LOTRO. They mentioned a few games, Dungeons & Dragons Online, which I thought was odd. I guess DDO is in its 15th year, which is more significant than LOTRO in its 14th year, but DDO is also a smaller game according to their own press release thing, which I don't think I'm calling it the right thing. Investors presentation, something like that. What are we doing? Giving them armor. It looks like he has armor, but I guess he can have some more armor. I feel like we should be giving armorless people armor. Maybe we're upgrading them to the style armor. Don't really know. You might look at my character and think she needs armor.
It is good to see some of the men of Gondor whom we fear.
This is actually the quest armor from the zone before this. This is from Old Anorian. Alright, bunch of stuff to do here. Bunch of people to find, wow. This is my concern with this, that we're just going to have to search around for a lot of people kind of endlessly feeling. Hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, with the graphics update, I am not entirely sure that actually will happen, but as Jigsaw mentioned, it was shared by EG7 that 2022 was the plan for the LOTRO upgrade. But with the recent update, I guess, given by EG7, they just talked very broadly about giving these companies, the developers, the resources to do what the resources they need to do what they want, but didn't really share anything specific. And I think the big thing with that one is they just wanted to mainly mention, I am not familiar with this game, but I think it's H1Z1 is the name of it. It's a game under Daybreak. Okay, we need to do something about this inventory, and I think what I very first need to do is go to Bree and get the subscribers town services. Because my inventory, I have so many things in here that just don't need to be in here, I guess, or need to do something about. I'm also getting more crafting materials. I think I have a couple loose crafting materials from when I crafted somewhat recently. Don't remember exactly when that was. Oh, what am I doing? Going to Bree, that is right. But yeah, I have a few of those. I have a bunch of envelopes, which I'm guessing the envelopes is for an anniversary quest, which I have not done too much lately. I know it's only been out for a little bit over a week, I guess, and the later part of this past week I haven't been able to do all that much. Maybe it's been out 2 weeks, actually, the anniversary. Would have been a couple days over a week, as far as I remember. Okay. So, the one Muhammad, you said you're about to finish Moria, so this is all new to you with Gondor, but you're also not a new player. Yeah, Gondor is quite a bit past Moria where I am. A lot of content. I enjoy, nowadays at least, I enjoy Moria. It was definitely rough the first few times through. But yeah, with the anniversary, I have some of these stuff. I have enough anniversary tokens on an alt if I really want the cosmetics. The concern I have is I'm not sure I quite like this. I like some of the parts of this. There's a saddle a headpiece and a tail without the comparison part, that is what I would be interested in. So let me just see if there's a saddle. Okay, I want the saddle and then I want the headpiece and not the steed. So I don't quite have enough anniversary tokens, and anniversary tokens I have found are really hard to get. So I should have a quest for these envelopes right now. I might just see if I can, on this character, do enough stuff with the anniversary to actually get those 2 pieces. I think that would be good. I know I still need the town services, but yeah, getting distracted by the anniversary stuff, perhaps. I don't think I've seen that cosmetic with that helmet. I've seen that cosmetic before, but the helmet, I'm not sure I've actually seen. You can convert old tokens, which I think I have for this character, and all my characters actually converted all the tokens I can. So I don't even have enough room to get this. Oh, my inventory is such a mess right now. I really don't even want to look at it. I don't want to open right now. There's way too many things in here. Okay, so I took out all my level 105 gear, and I know I'm going to get level 105 soon. What's taking out? Oh, reputation stuff? Okay. So not only is my inventory full, this thing is a lot more full than I thought it was. This is actually really scary. Are these account? No, they're bound. There's a lot of stuff I could get rid of in here. What do these look like, these swords? See, these swords, they all have interesting looks, and even the axe. This is a new item. I might want this. Wow. I feel like I'm at an impasse. I don't know what to do with my inventory and everything here. Okay, I'm going to destroy this 4 cal stuff. That is one thing I can do. I wonder if I have a javelin. I don't like the spear and javelin of the Gobbleaka that much. Yeah, I am almost level 105. I'm very close to 105 actually. Halfway, half a bar to go it looks like. Oh, you can open these? Even if you get unwanted messages, they just won't go in your inventory now. I have this armor. See, I have a lot of 105 armor, which I might use, I might not use. I don't want to spend the whole stream wondering what to do with my inventory, but that is really what I feel like right now. Also, I have tons of fireworks. I hate to destroy just like fireworks like this, but I really don't want them. I don't want them taking up space especially. But I have all this other stuff. I can send it to an alt. That is always an option, to send all these boosts to my bank alt or something like that. Or my shared storage. That's actually where a lot of this stuff should be going. My shared storage, which has 2 spaces left. I'm gonna put a little bit in there. Let's see, where's a good spot? That's all armor. This is also a problem with not having played for a few days. I forget my systems for like storage and all that type of stuff and what I've been doing recently. I forget what I'm even looking for right now. There's stuff I wanted to put in here. Okay, some boosts, that is right. Might have a tome of defense already in there, might have that thing in there, that in there, that. Wow, all this stuff is going in, that's a surprise. Somehow I got more hope tokens. I gained hope tokens. Don't want that unwanted message. It is an unwanted message, I do not want it. Okay, don't need these relics in that. Influence scroll of empowerment, that's just 1. I might even be able to stack that with something I have. This I might even be able to put in my vault as well. Okay, we're eventually going to get somewhere. Those single power pots, where are the power pots? These, I don't know that I'd use them on this character. I just hate destroying stuff because these are, I don't even know where I accumulate these from. Probably from Hobbit gifts, but they're actually a little bit useful. These are the type of things that I just save and never use. One thing I can get rid of, all these level 100 essences. Don't need any of those anymore. They're not really good essences. The essences seem to be decent at 105, but I haven't looked at all the 105 gear yet. There we go, that's a good chunk of inventory space. All these heritages, I'll just keep accumulating them, but could always send them to an alt. And yes, exactly, Jigsaw. Save and never use. That is what I do with all the crafting mats that I accumulate. Save and never use. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to send that to my champion. Okay, we're taking a storage break while it is evening time. There's a dwarf there. He's waving and saluting to me. I cannot see him, he's being blocked. Okay, so send that stuff to my champion, and then send some stuff to my bank alt. I don't know what I want to send to my bank alt, but we'll send some stuff. How about all this? Let's see, this is my shared storage, this is my regular storage. That's bound. These unbound things that I hope I didn't delete that. That is the main concern there, that I just deleted something, but I don't think I did. Now these scrolls of empowerment, see if I can stack any. And yes, Dan's adventure is that dwarf who is named Dan Grimm. Name sounds a little bit familiar. They really want my attention. So this dwarf was in Ear of the Wind not long ago. You actually saw this dwarf? Forget what level he is. He might have been in Ear of the Wind recently. 10, 15? Trying to click him. Level 14, so yeah, it seems like he would have been in Ear of the Wind recently. Anyway, yeah, don't use any add-ons. Don't have any active right now. I do use combat analysis every once in a while. So we are sending stuff to my bank alt. Trying to send stuff to my bank alt. What do I want to send? I don't need that. Universal solvent should be able to go in my shared storage somewhere. We're going to make progress with the storage. I know it's probably not the most exciting thing to see, but it will be exciting when it's finally finished soon. I feel like I'm actually starting to somewhat make some progress. Wouldn't mind saving the Carcoal cloak. Also wouldn't mind getting rid of it. Okay, let's loot all this stuff. Where is my services? There it is. Want to sell. I'll go ahead and just sell those relics. I don't care about them enough. The weak potions, okay. We'll sell all that. That's 3 more spaces. All this armor for level 105. This is quest armor, but still saving it for level 105. Should get some 105 essences. Don't need that. There's one thing we can get rid of. Also these. I don't need these low-level scholar mats for sure. I should stop getting Westamnet stuff. Shouldn't be getting those. We are hopefully done with Westamnet. If I keep getting Westamnet stuff, then that is just going to be unfortunate. Don't need barrels or barrel shards. Don't need those. Hopefully I stop getting those. I'd rather put this in my shared storage. There is space in my shared storage. Wow. Okay, there's a chance my inventory might be the cleanest it's been since I've been, like, starting this Warden's Gondor thing. Assuming I don't loot any more Westamnet crafting materials, that's the big thing right now that I'm hoping to avoid. Zenorian. Why do I have media? I must have been doing some low-level stuff maybe during the deeds, and that's how I came across a lot of this. Okay, everything Westamnet is going. And how about my vault? All these reputation items I don't need to store on this character. All the Gondor ones I can actually just use. I really don't care about saving those so much right now. I say that, yet at the same time it could be worth getting the essences, but all these low-level reputation items, I don't need them stuck on this character in their vault. Okay, we're really going to be flooding my bank alt. I might need to make another bank alt. And hello, Victor. I am doing good. I'm feeling very clear like these guys in After Battle Pelennor. Oh no, this dwarf is asking for medium hides. I do not have medium hides. Dan, I might have had a couple on this character, but I do not at the moment. I might have just sent some away. I think I had like a single medium hide that I sent to my bank alt. Something like that at least. What about these Daleman's crams? Don't need those on this character. Cups of coffee. Yeah, not useful on a warden. Okay, these are all usable. These are usable. These ones you can only use out of combat, I believe. They're not as useful. I should probably just sell these two things, to be honest. Okay. How about shared storage? Shared storage has a few spaces left. I did not know that. Dyes. Which character do I want to keep my dyes on? Maybe I'll keep them in the shared storage. That seems like a good place for dyes, which I'm already doing apparently. Wow, I have some food cooked by this Tugro character in my shared storage. I have one fire oil left. Okay, the hope token can go in the shared storage. There should be space for it now. We're at 110 slots on the shared storage used again. Okay, there are some maps to the anniversary for Bree. Some into the Entoids, don't want that. Let's unlock that and sell that. And my vault is actually really clear now. I can put a bunch of the armor. Let's make a chest. How about chest 9? We'll call that 105 and put all my 105 armor in there. It can just stay out of my inventory. And I'm almost doing this just to free up some inventory spaces, some extra ones. And that is a lot cleaner inventory. And for people that don't know, this Tugro character that I mentioned is actually Dan's Adventures. Character. Alright, we way cleaned up my inventory. That is over 3 rows of inventory space cleaned. That is nice and satisfying. What time is it? It is 4 dawn, so we're almost getting to the daytime where we can see blue skies as promised by the thumbnail that they would return. They just didn't immediately return. Couldn't quite have that. I don't even know what to do with all this inventory space. It has me so distracted I don't know what to do in the game either. I do want to do some anniversary stuff. I know the focus was supposed to be Pelennor, but I actually do want to do some of the anniversary stuff. I believe we could also catch a fireworks show. Thought I saw another letter. Here it is. So the last one will have an invitation? Wow, all 3 of those had invitations. That is perfect.
What can I do for you?
I would give that dwarf some medium hides if I had medium hides. I'm sure if you actually really need medium hides, I could switch characters right now. I'm sure I have some on my alts, or probably my bank alt has a ton of those, if I had to guess. Okay. Anniversary stuff. So I want 5 more anniversary tokens. That is my goal for this character. So anniversary tokens about 49. I need 1 more actually. I somehow got 4 anniversary tokens. Which way do I want to go? And I want to try to get to the fireworks show. And that should complete some things for me. And get me the anniversary tokens I need to get the new cosmetics. And actually I might switch to my Runekeeper. So the gifts quest chain, that's a quick way. That is probably a quick way, I would agree with that. But the fireworks show, it is the one quest of like the main things that I have not done. I wonder if I can start this. Yeah, it looks like I can. I launched the oh, send up anything except blue. Oopsies. I am bad.
Would you do something for me?
Okay, hopefully it still lets me do it. I know I failed the quest, but it just let me pick it up. That's not blue. Okay, let's actually not do blue this time. See, that's the problem. I read blue and I just did blue real quick. So I need to launch the correct firework 9 more times. That is how this works. I did not suddenly get a promotional mount for no reason. Something that isn't green. Yeah, I did not randomly get one. I wonder what source would be possible that you got one. And I should probably try to get a better view for y'all. I'm just like staring at the ground. If I could hide my UI, I would actually do that, but we need to pay attention to which fireworks we're going to use. Not the time for green, so let's do blue. I should do red to match my outfit, but we'll do blue because we're looking for blue skies, and our blue skies are blue fireworks actually. Did she say what a surprise while this guy is just announcing what we need to do? That is yellow. He tried to trick you. Try to trick me, rather. This takes a while. I actually need to do 10 of these. Anything except green. Also, my Illimum town is not out. So there are a few exciting things for level 105 besides the new 105 gear and 105 essences. There is also, we should have a firework in a moment, but there are these relics, the level 105 essences from the Mordor pre-order. He really likes yellow fireworks. He called that color out twice now. And it's not really the prettiest color to me. To me, it's probably the ugliest color possible of all these fireworks, but there's the contrast. Somebody launched blue fireworks. That gives a little bit of contrast. That is not blue. Let's do red then. It's been a while since we've had red fireworks, I believe. There we go. Those almost look orangish. But yeah, these level 105 relics should be very strong because I believe they're supposed to be like Mordor strength. Yeah, he's a little too obsessed with yellow fireworks if you ask me. I feel like we need a change in the fireworks announcer. He is not working to put on a good display here. So what I wanted to do while here, what did he say that's not yellow? Uh-oh. Okay. I know there's a lot of time, but I was just worried when I couldn't see the bar. But what I want to get out real quick are actually all these fireworks that I just talked about. I want to at least launch some blue fireworks here. And then a green firework. Okay. Oh, I got a new deed. Deed bestowed. Launch blue one-shot fireworks. Oh, that's what it was, okay. I thought it said something about Bree. I know I completed the Gandalf at the Methyl stage. I don't want to go all the way there. I got enough anniversary tokens, so that's all I get to do. Hello, Lori Gordon. It has been a while. We just got done with the fireworks, so I got 50 anniversary tokens, so now I can get the 2 War State cosmetics. And what I might do is, I wonder if there's... I know there was not really an anniversary sale, but there were some things on sale in the LOTRO store. And I think it was Mithril coins was the big one. Those were 20% off. Wow, I have 16 LOTRO points. That's really jumped up the past couple months. I've gotten a lot from just doing deeds in-game. Yeah, so Mithril coins are the big thing on sale. It might actually be worth me getting some Mithril coins. They are for... I like to get Mithril coins when they're on sale. And I have... As far as Mithril coins goes, I have 271, so I actually have a lot on the server. Maybe I don't need any at this point. It's always good for me to get those while they're on sale, though. I just don't know that I would find that worth it, basically. But what I was hoping was the cosmetic outfit slots would be on sale. I'm actually interested in getting more of those. 495 would be the cost of the next one. The one outfit I would replace, that would actually be pretty tough, but it could be this one because I haven't been in snowy zones too recently, but depending on the content I do, that could change. Maybe this one. I feel like this, I really like this outfit, but I feel like it's run its course for this character. And we just went way past, zoomed way past the rewards, I was getting ready to go back to, I guess, Pelennor, which I would do for my map home anyway. But what I'm thinking I will do is, I wonder if I need dyes for this. Maybe I won't even bother. I'll just wait on the cosmetics and let that be another day. Try not to run into the post. Always running into things on the worst deed. I think it would be a miracle if I could do a full stream without running into anything like that.
What can I do for you today?
So I forgot the reason that I originally went to this location. Why I went to Brino's to clean up my inventory, so we got that task done. Let's go ahead and get on the worst deed, and congrats Chris on getting level 105. You beat me by a little bit. And my muster is not on my bar anymore, so we have to go here, search for muster. We want Pelennor? No, it does not have that. I have a muster somewhere over there. After Battle Minas Tirith probably is where I want to go. I don't think I've gotten the muster for Pelennor yet, or wherever it would be that you can go with that. But while doing the muster, I wanted to change this War Steed's appearance. I probably don't have time to do that right now. Yeah, 105 cap is going to be the flower picking cap. Now, I don't know for what we have with all the changes to gear that they have done, if flower picking will be the best gear, because there are a lot of differences at level 100. It used to be the Osgiliath, the 5-slot essence gear, and I think some of the set gear that you could get from doing the tier 2 instances, or tier 1 instances, even the boxes, the box gear there, used to be pretty good, but both of those are actually relatively bad. The thing with level 100 was that you could cap your stats actually from epic battle jewelry, and then you just use essence gear to boost up vitality, essentially, I think is what people did. And wow, I have a lot of options. I don't even know where I got all these. Plain black saddle? That's a thing? Saddle the hammerhand? Okay, that makes sense. What is this one? Vezir... Wait, Vezir. Vezir is not a word. That was a combination of festive azure. But yeah, that is that saddle. I want the new saddle that I got. I don't even know the name of the one I got. Remembrance. Right? Yeah, Remembrance. That is it. There is no tail. There is head armor with that. Yeah, I actually don't like that headpiece alone. Let's take that off. Is there any good headgear? What was the headgear I had on before? Piece of Gondor? That one matches the horse a little bit more. Honestly, it might have been a mistake what I did in getting this. Do I have a... I don't know what's on the... Oh, the back of the horse is the outfit thing. I don't even know where that goes either. That is... somewhere. I don't know where. But for my worsted cosmetics, we'll equip the new stuff. Test it out for a little bit at least. I was just hoping it would look a little bit better, and perhaps the... I'm just going to search Remembrance. Perhaps the issue is I don't have any of the actual armor to match. Is perhaps the issue with that. But yeah, the headpiece without the rest of it is what I'm not sure. The saddle itself is actually pretty neat. If I had the armor to match, I think that part would look pretty nice. But we are finally getting closer to blue skies in Gondor. Right now it's pink skies. It's still very nice to have a sunrise that looks like this. I don't know where the sunrise is. Probably to the east would be my guess. It always takes me a minute to think if the sun actually rises in the east and sets in the west, but it does. So we have Grimbold. That name sounds familiar, but not from this area. Oh, that's actually, he's a Rohirrim. He's one of the guys in West Rohan. I hate to say this, but I won't even say it, because you all know how much I dislike West Rohan. Also, the sun is shining. Speaking of the sun setting, it's like near sunset time and it's shining like almost right into my eyes. It's just very bright on my window way back there. We're close to blue skies. It could be described as blue-grayish right now. But yeah, with the questing here, I hope this is the last quest set of searching for things.
Though my sorrows grow, my company dwindles.
I'll just say that, and yeah, these fields, I agree, they must smell terrible, and there are all these crawlers and flies and things roaming around, these rats. Need some cleaning up. I hear there is going to be a wedding in the future, and Minas Tirith is supposed to be restored for that or something. They need to do a lot of work for that. There are probably a lot of adventures we could go on before that actually happens. Which, by the way, that did already happen for this character. I just randomly got transported to the future, then was brought back to reality, which I believe was Rohan for this character at the time. So Victor, you hated Mordor in these zones for 115 to 120, even more than Rohan, or much more than Rohan. There is nothing, for me, unfortunately, there's nothing, I guess it's fortunate that nothing is worse than Rohan, but unfortunately for Rohan, there is nothing worse. And Greg, you asked if I think they'll add the lands of the Easterlings, and I think that is something that's definitely a possibility for LOTRO's future. The Easterlings, I am not entirely sure where they would be from, but maybe Rune, and the Prodrim, of course, being Harad, and I think Khand as well. But that would be, as far as I know, maybe Rune would be the Easterlings. Where am I going? This way. So I definitely think that's a possibility, I just don't know. Yeah, this headpiece is not working for me. What if I just take it off? Go with the horse's natural hair. Oh no, not undo. And how about I take these shoes off? I kind of like that look, but now the problem is the saddle. What's all this body stuff? Oh, okay, that's the stuff I don't want right now, since I don't have anything that appeals to this for this character, I guess, is the way with that. All these like comparisons of the clothy ones that go way down like that, I'm just not in the mood for something like that. And yeah, I think any place in Eriador, I would love for Eriador to be finished out. It might not be the most exciting thing. I feel like that's something kind of like Wildwood. They could do an update in Eriador and actually make it perhaps somehow level appropriate, not necessarily level cap stuff. I feel like they could do that, maybe an update every year like that, or every other year, and just slowly build out Eriador in places like Linden. And then they have a lot of options. I think Harad and Rune are the two big options for the future. I would expect either of those. I would personally wouldn't mind having an update in Vorodwaith connecting maybe Forakel, Angmar, and the such in an update like that, or a set of updates. Anyway, let's look at all of these saddles. This one matches my back. If I equip that, it matches the back piece, which is probably perhaps my best bet, even though it's of the hammer hand, and I know that's a Rohan thing. It's just the questing in West Rohan that I don't like. There's some neat Rohan, West Rohan, I guess, cosmetics from the Helm's Deep expansion. Here's another one of these Haradrim supplies. I wonder if there's one at each camp. I have two of them. Maybe I should go ahead and try to pull out that LOTRO wiki map. We're looking for, what is it? Oh, Haradrim supplies. Remnants? Is that what it's called? That's what keeps on being suggested. Okay, so there are three. There's one to the south that I should make sure I get, and then one way to the north, right at Paleth and Gladdle. So there's one to the southwest. I believe that's the one I have not gotten way down here. But perhaps this is the one that I've gotten. So Victor, you said, yeah, that is one problem with West Rohan. You said when you were stuck and didn't know where to go. That is one problem that I found with West Rohan as well. But as far as the questing itself goes, it sounds like you didn't mind the quests too much. And one of the bigger issues with West Rohan is actually replaying it on alts. It is something I can definitely see people liking as a one-time playthrough type thing. But for me, anything beyond a one-time playthrough is where it gets really bad. And also for the one-time playthrough, while some of the stuff can be interesting at times, it just really drags on and super slow to me. Don't really get a sense of progression through these zones sometimes. This is a nice look of the area, a little bit of a high point here. Compared to in Minas Tirith, or not in Minas Tirith, the Battle of Pelennor Fields, which is super laggy. A lot of low FPS during that, the performances way improved. Yeah, the replayability, I feel like, is a big factor in West Rohan that I don't like of it, that it doesn't feel like it has much replayability. The blue skies are returning right now. Super exciting. And hey, Spelts, we need to head east. That's kind of the thing I'm feeling about Gondor right now, maybe because I just did it on my Warden, but if I think about, I know I rated in my zones tier list, I was rating Gondor a bit favorably, probably more so as a reaction of it being significantly better than I expected, is how Gondor in general so far has been. A lot better than I expected and a lot better than I gave it credit for. But because I just did it and there were some annoying things and it was starting to get the pre-battle stuff kind of like Moria, I just wanted to get out of it is what I actually was starting to feel like with that. What am I doing here? Searching for some people, I think? I don't think I need to give armor to soldiers here. They're probably still at the camp. Hopefully I don't get myself. Okay, let's try to dismount and hopefully not die by misadventure. There's the Moomac. I was going on about something, I forget what. Oh yeah, so Gondor. I lost my train of thought on that, but there was something I was trying to get finished saying and then I got kind of a little bit choppy with the worsty there. But I just forget what it was. Trying to even remember the point. Yeah, there was some back and forth. I feel like that was a bigger thing in the later parts. But yeah, Gondor, it doesn't have much replayability. I feel like that was one of the points I wanted to get to. So it's not something I am in the mood to go through any of the stuff I did. So if I did a zone tier list, like a couple weeks later, actually, I would actually rate that. I think most Gondor zones I would rate a little bit lower. South Ithilien was still really fun. I am not finding anybody I need in this area. I feel like they would have been at the camp up here, but they are not. Maybe in the east. Have I checked the eastern camp yet? I have now. The northern one I thought I already checked and that looks a little bit out of the circle area. It is. About the western, southwestern, or maybe around this area, these ugly bushes area. Yep, here are a couple people. But yeah, I feel like, oh, what did I even say? I think I said the point that Gondor didn't have much replayability. And that's how I feel right now about it. Like, thinking about my Runekeeper who is stuck in the pre-battle Gondor. It's a zone I don't have to do too much. It's a region, I guess I don't have to do too much for like trait points compared to West Rohan. There is Central Gondor, but I already did that on my Runekeeper, and Old Anorian I don't feel like is the biggest deal to get trait points. That's only 2 trait points. I know it's a big thing for your character and really important to get those, but I think those are 2 somewhat skippable ones. The problem is a lot of my characters, I would end up skipping Old Anorian, and I would end up skipping the Moria one, so that'd be like 3 trait points missing, and currently you can get 2 more. There's like 2 trait points that you can safely miss and still get all of them. And this is a topic I really should be, I feel like I should make another video on this. I had a video on the trait points issue, as I call it, but that's a big thing in Gondor and Rohan that additionally it just sours the experience there. Is that I feel like I need to do it for trait points. There is a sunny sun. a bright sun. Oddly, it still looks relatively dark outside. I guess it's just the way it looks in game with the sun shining like that above the horizon. Like safely above the horizon by quite a bit, but it's still early in the day. But anyway, we have blue skies. I feel like they have returned enough that it is actually accurate. And this is what I really like about the after battle part. It's like that big sigh of relief after exiting Moria, but it feels even bigger to me just because Gondor had, as I talked about, some things that made it feel a little bit extra oppressive, because it feels like a place that should be pretty, that should be sunny, and you're outdoors, unlike Moria, but it felt actually like Moria being indoors and even had a bunch of red tint, that type of stuff. Evendim, that is one zone. I feel like I messed up on North Downs. That is one I definitely should have put higher. I think I was thinking too much of certain parts of North Downs and didn't really factor in Foremost, Fields of Foremost, which I have to quest in Fields of Foremost again. Usually I actually skip that, just kind of accidentally end up skipping that. But Nan Wathrin, the place in the southeast, Doldenen, all of the Stalden quests pretty much, I really like all of that. So I feel like I should have rated North Downs higher as well in retrospect. Retrospect? Is that the right word?
This is grim
I for some reason I don't think that's the right word, but maybe it is. Well, we're level 105, we reached the level cap. I feel like that should be more exciting than it is, but that's the thing about level in LOTRO is it's not as exciting as it used to be for me. Usually I'm more worried about trait points rather than my character's level. Oh, I can get some more anniversary tokens though. I'll take that.
Of this Aragorn?
And Evendim, I don't know, it's just not, I think as I mentioned in that video, to me I just don't feel it quite being along the lines of some of my favorite zones. So there's Will, Agility. Oh, there's a Might medium helmet. Yeah, I want Agility. Home of the Reclaimed City. I wonder what this will look like.
Those who fought to the end.
Don't like that helmet, but I wonder what the rest of the armor would look like. Talk to Aragorn. Mourning the Dead. This is North Ithilien, I believe, on the map there. Oh no. Okay. We still have clear skies. It's just like evening time or something like that.
I bestow the honor onto you to light the pyre.
The torch burns brightly in the night. There we go. I wonder why the logs on the inside are burning and the ones on the outside weren't. Looks like the fire is actually spreading now. At least, unlike the fireworks show, we're not in the middle of a forest right now. Alright, so armor. I want to get these relics. This should be a big upgrade for this character. All of these, I think they're Mordor level relics essentially. I don't know why they're level 105, but that is what they are. Instead of level 106. But I think they're supposed to be on the level of like starter Mordor relics, Gorgoroth. And I can go ahead and equip them. So do I want to put them on my spear or a javelin? I think my javelin. As far as the relics I have equipped on them, they're pretty much the same between the two, so it doesn't really matter. I'll just like keep these equipped, but I use my javelin enough now. It is deserving of these new relics, and I'm not sure I actually want to equip the setting. It has a lot more efficient stats, but the Devastate Magnitude, is the Devastate Magnitude even worth it though? And the critical rating, that means I could not focus so much on crit on my gear and perhaps slot in like physical mastery instead of crit at one point. So it's probably more worth it to get this new setting. The Parrying Evade don't care too much about. And then the new gym, should be a fairly decent upgrade, I would think. These are actually less exciting. I thought these would be a little bit of a bigger upgrade. But, yeah, they're actually a little bit less exciting. But yeah, with the gem, the agility, of course, is good. And that would give me about 1,000-ish physical mastery, a little bit less than 1,000. Actually, less than 900 physical mastery. So that's like okay, and it compensates a little bit for the loss in critical rating. I also do get some critical rating, so I think the gem is an upgrade and get all that crit defense, of course. Shiny Legion's Shire was not in the best here. This is actually, Shire would benefit. This was a comment that had this is something I brought up in the video, but also somebody commented this, that the Shire would be rated a lot better if I did not factor in the questing. The questing there is okay still, but based on the landscapes and some of the scenery in the Shire and other stuff going on, I could definitely rate it a lot higher. I don't know if it would still be one of my favorite zones. Calling myself a LOTRO? A LOTRO, and I feel like there's a missing word there. And pie delivery. Pie delivery, that was fun, but as I mentioned in that video, it is something I only want to do once every so many years. Alright, hopefully the rune is a big upgrade. That one's got physical mastery and critical rating, that should be an upgrade. Even versus attack duration, that's actually a tough consideration. Because attack duration is such a nice LOTRO player. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Just LOTRO player. Northern Mirkwood and the dwarf zone. The dwarf part of that zone was... I think they were both like in the middle somewhere. I don't remember exactly where I rated them compared to the other zones, but... Erebor might have been in the not that fun category, or perhaps it could have been in the okay. I don't even remember the exact tiers from that video anymore. But yeah, that's a lot of physical mastery. This should be a big upgrade, but I hate losing attack duration. But I think it would be a big enough upgrade over the attack duration. The thing with attack duration, you could almost consider it like, it seems like 2.5% damage should equal 2.5% attack duration. But it's more fun to attack faster. But also at the same time, I think that physical mastery would increase my damage enough, and the critical rating especially would increase my damage enough. Okay, so agility, yeah, this would actually drop my physical mastery. Let's see, 174.1. Down to, so 1.3-ish%, and that is a drop of about 700 physical mastery. Okay, we mourned them all. Unfortunately, Eomor made it through. He sounds like he was very annoying. That name seems too recognizable. And yes, Warden uses medium armor and agility. So, Iron Hills was probably my favorite Update 23 zone. Arid Mithrin started out okay, but it just got a little bit more boring over time. That's the same with Northern Mirkwood for me. Vales of Anduin, the level 120 zone, was pretty fun though, overall. Okay, I need to pick up a stone. But yeah, with these relics, they're less exciting than I was hoping. I guess I envisioned them as being a bigger upgrade than they would be, but I do think all of them are going to be worth equipping, and we can look at some of my stats in more detail, like after this. Remain alert. Okay, let's remain alert and look at my stats. Let's first look at this. Second, look at this. Third, look at this. And then, hopefully those panels stay up. Okay, they did. Oh, we're in the Tower of Ithilien. Okay, so got these. And then I'm going to equip the relics. I want to I guess I can't anchor that, but as far as my physical mastery goes, it's 174.1, and my crit rating is 28.2. That's a lot. So 28.2 and 174.1. Okay, 28.2 went to 29.3, and 174.1 went up to 178.4. So we gained 4.7% physical mastery and 1.2% critical rating. So a bit of an upgrade on both of those. So the damage should change to be decently more. I feel like, do I need to talk to somebody? I need to mourn. Trying to continue the progress with the quest while looking at all of this stuff. Okay, so this is how the damage actually changed on my skills with all that. And I had these two backwards. Enduring Strike and Resounding Challenge did not change that much, actually. I know it's only like 3% physical mastery or whatever it was. I actually forgot at this point, maybe 4% physical mastery, but not that much. Anyway, we can set that aside. I really like digging into the numbers like that with upgrades like that, but unfortunately, overall, again, I just don't think those relics were that big of an upgrade, just overall slight upgrades. And it is sad to lose the attack duration, but it's such a small amount, hopefully don't notice it too much.
Soon the march to the Black Gate will
Okay, so I got some more essence stuff. I do have a lot of level 105 armor now.
march shortly.
Yeah, those zones do have a lot of up and down terrain. And it sounds like there are some issues with the map. I'm surprised about issues with the map because that uses the new map style, which is basically a topographic map. So usually, for me at least, it's easier to tell on this map style where like up and downs are. But it is true, there's a lot of stuff like that in those zones. Iron Hills is relatively flat. There are some hills, but where you need to go is surprisingly flat, I feel like, in that zone. That's what I feel like about Moria, actually. Just the up and down and navigation of it. Reputation, I don't remember why I was looking at reputation. Essences, we can probably just get a bunch of physical mastery essences, I'm guessing. I say that, yet at the same time, my physical mastery is relatively high. So I might just wait on all the essences again, see how stats actually work out at 105 before I bother with any of that. Okay, what to do now? Guess I can see if I can get a muster. I don't know if I've ranked up my reputation with the Host of the West or not.
Must protect Gondor at all costs.
Let's see, how about friend? Yeah, I'm not even friend, so that is a starter point to know I can't barter for anything. And I think we're finally ready to go to Osgiliath, though. We actually have Introduction to Waste. I must have just picked that up because of getting level 105, I guess. But yeah, finally ready to move on. This is like the true Blue Skies part of After Battle Gondor that we have finally gotten to. It's kind of like Western Gondor, just take the skybox in Western Gondor and move it to Old Anorion or Pelennor, that type of area. I don't know Old Anorion, the name of that, if this would be like considered almost New Anorion, or if there's anything like that, if it's still like just Old Anorion After Battle. I don't know what the way they actually name it, but yeah, we are ready to head towards Osgiliath, I believe. Just make sure with all my Pelennor quests that that is true. And that is not true. We have to go back to the Pavilion and have to go back to Minas Tirith. So we were not quite ready to go to Osgiliath. As far as quest deed progress, that is the big thing of interest, especially with how relatively unexciting the quests have been so far. That is the main thing of interest, getting this done. I also notice I have no Slayer deeds so far. That is an odd thing for sure, that I have no Slayer deeds, but should run into more of that stuff, I would hope, in North Ithilien and the such. I think there are also some more enemy camps up to the north that we just haven't gotten to, maybe. Probably not the best thing, best little area to try to navigate everything on a war steed right now. Okay, I need to do something to the east. Wow, did all that to get my way into the camp and I just need to go out to the east. There we go. We're finally getting somewhere, doing something with a young recruit. Am I sparring them?
This is your first time in Minas
Oh, test their new armor. Really? We just got them that new armor, and now I just get to, like, wear out the armor? The armor is quite sturdy. It did not look sturdy.
We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late.
Okay, it fits well. See, that might be a better rating than it fits well. This guy has a little bit fancy armor. I also don't think that armor is quite sturdy. Not really defensive, at least. So, Mikkel, you said you are trying to get into this game and you started yesterday and wondering if I have any advice for a new player. There is a lot of different random things that I feel like I could have. Some maybe specific things is focusing on deeds while leveling can be good. It's something you don't need to do, but you'll get these deeds. If you press Shift L, you can open the deed log if you don't know. But for a zone like Breland, you will have these deeds and doing some quest deeds usually. I haven't done it on Bree on this character actually, but usually those are the good ones. Whatever zone you decide to level in, those are usually good ones to make sure you get done. There are also a lot of Slayer and Exploration deeds. The Exploration deeds can be pretty good to do while you're questing in the zone. Just make sure you explore all those places. And then the Slayer deeds are something that you can do while leveling and some people like to do, but you can always go back and do those. And the attunement skin, that is not a plugin. I am honestly not sure. Maybe you're talking about the Gambit default. But yeah, do not use a plugin. That is the base default one. Forge blades. Gather supplies. Viable armor. Sounds like a bunch of stuff that we have already worked on. But yeah, that's a random, I guess, thing about deeds. The main thing with deeds, the reason to do that is what I actually meant to get to, is virtue experience. So if you open the trait panel on the bottom tab here for virtue traits, these are basically have stats that can boost your character stats. And picking 5 good ones to start will be helpful. I don't know what class you are, but if you are just starting out, I think loyalty and wit are 2 of the best virtues that are universal for most classes to get up. I would say wit is less useful if you play a healer specifically and want to do group content on the healer, but loyalty and wit are 2 of the best virtues, I believe, to get started on. So you would have to select that at earning, and that's something that if you don't know about the virtues when you're just starting out the game, all of your virtue XP can actually essentially go to waste, so it's something important to set. And I don't know how well it's explained in like the whatever tutorial tips come up, but it's something I believe is important because you can essentially waste virtue XP if you don't do that. See, some other random tips is you can basically play the game how you want. You can follow the book quest. They're a good general guide for the level content you're doing and like where to go within the game. Trying to think of anything else specific. Virtue XP is primarily from deeds, so like the Slayer deeds, Explorer deeds, and Quest deeds that I already mentioned, and like Bree, Shire, Era, the Wind, Lonelands, all the zones. They have all these different tabs. You have Eriador for the major regions, Rovanian, Gondor. These are the ones you want to get to till higher level. All the early zones are going to be in Eriador. Eregion and below are going to lead up to Moria, and then Moria's in Romanian. There are also instance deeds as a random note as well. A lot of the Ingmar instances, Moria instances have some good deeds that can give virtue XP. But yeah, that is the primary source of virtue experience. Another big source is actually now missions. That is one of the biggest things in my review, mission system review, when the missions first came out with War of Three Peaks that I put in the review, is it would be the perfect system to have virtue XP. So it took a long while, but they finally have added virtue XP tokens as a reward for doing the weekly for missions. And missions are things you can do level 20 plus. And doing 15 a week can get you a 1000 virtue XP token in a box to get some other boosts, which can also, one of those boosts can have another 1000 virtue XP, which is my favorite one to get because compared to LI boosts or crafting things, I find the virtue XP to be most useful for my characters. And then also doing 45 missions a week as well can get you that. In missions for Wildwood, there's like a mission slayer deed. Also, we have the orange cat who finally joined. Took her a long time, actually, an hour and a half into the stream. Usually she's up and around and bothering way earlier than that. Need to cool blades. Where do I cool the blades at? Is that at the water? I think I already went to the water. And this really is, I don't like to judge the questing of this zone already, especially considering how excited I was just to explore this area and run around with blue skies. The questing here is really dragging on a little bit long. I feel like just doing random-ish things. It's not really random things, but doing less exciting things, I feel like is what I'm doing right now. And there's been a lot of back and forth feeling type stuff. And yeah, I will be on my way towards Mordor soon, unless you mean with the actual questing, it'll send me towards North Ithilien pretty soon. But I might, when I get the questy done, which I believe I only need to do a few more quests for, need to do one more quest actually to get that. I might just head on anyway, since I have a bunch of stuff that is a little bit higher priority, I guess. I don't want to turn in these Host of the West silver pieces. That is going to drive me crazy. I should just cancel both of these quests. I don't want to filter them because I will eventually want to do these, but I don't want that right now. Okay, so Aragorn will start on his way soon. There is the book quest, already has me going to Osgiliath as a thing of interest, I guess. Let's see, supplies. It looks like there could be some supplies out here according to the map. Not sure how accurate the map actually is, but since I wasn't finding any in the camp, it's probably like over here there could be just a random bucket or something, is why the map tracks it all the way out here. Hopefully I'm not just running here for no reason, but not targeting anything right now. There's actually a cause for concern. I did not need to travel all this way, I guess. I don't know why the polygon goes all the way out here, though. Oh, nothing over here with those folk. Oh, here are some supplies, okay. But yeah, I was thinking after I got done with this deed, that is when I could go ahead and move to, with Aragorn, to the east. I believe that's who we're going with. Oh no, now I need to fill crates. That means I have to find the crates, and I guess these are the things that are to the west. Maybe. Still blue skies. It's always nice to look around and see that. I know I spend a lot of the time in the game looking towards the ground just to see where I'm going and that type of stuff, but where are these crates? I feel like I've searched the whole area now. There's a supply crate. I also thought I searched the entire camp, but yeah, we'll be out of here soon enough. wrong button. Hard to see, or hard to, yeah, know what button I'm pressing with my cat right here as well. Okay, so quests, we will untrack that one for now, and the March of Osgiliath, we can do that. The book quest, though, that is what I want to do. Defeat remaining enemies in Osgiliath, that is what I need to do. So we have a couple things in Osgiliath, heading towards the east and defeating enemies in Osgiliath while doing that. They actually call this the Causeway Fort still? I guess they do. The location, I guess, wouldn't actually change its name. Osgiliath, I don't know if it's because there's more light shining on Osgiliath from the clear skies, but it looks a little bit more ruins in the after battle version compared to before battle. It just looks a little bit more extremely damaged. I don't know if it actually does become more damaged, but that's like the first thing that I remember noticing here is it feels more damaged and more ruins like than it does before. It feels like an enemy camp, I guess, is the big thing. There's still a lot of orcs here though. Some of them escaped their fate, or escaped the fate of most of the orcs in the battle, I guess. I think this is, if I remember correctly, one of the bigger areas with enemies, so I thought it would be good to go ahead and stop here and just get all the ones I need instead of roaming around trying to find others when I just remember this part being good for enemies. I'll have to go back to the entrance, or the entrance is now considered in the east, okay. Essence box, again, I think I would get physical mastery from that, but I have to see with the 105 gear how it actually works out. There's the chance that I could cap on physical mastery from all the armor with the crazy stats they seem to have at this level compared to how I remember it used to being. They've changed over time. I think it was update 23 if I remember correctly. There was an update to a lot of the stats in the stat curve, and they did a little bit of stat squish maybe along with that. And then maybe even some more minor updates after that too. All the stats on gear and how all that scales and works. So they've also changed like physical mastery, how much agility, how much of your main stat gives, how much mastery, and they've even changed how much morale vitality gives and all that sort of stuff over the years. I think compared to since the level 105 updates originally. So a lot of stuff has changed from how it used to be. So I'm not sure exactly what essences I will want. The cat has her paw resting on my chest. I don't think y'all can quite see that. But it's very weird. Very weird feeling, I guess. Okay, head back. We need to talk to people in the west. Oh, he probably has these quests. It could be good for me to turn these in. These are daily quests. The 2 scrolls of empowerment is daily, the 3 scrolls is weekly. But I want to save my tokens for the muster skills, which take 20 of them. And when I get enough reputation, ideally I'll get enough reputation for all these. It is also possible that I would want some of this stuff, but that is a little bit less likely that I will want that. I think these, I don't remember what they're for. Essences, maybe? I don't know, maybe you can actually craft non-essence stuff with that, but I'm guessing essences. For me, crafting, especially after level 50, gets boring. Or, I always say this backwards, but after level 50, crafting gets less exciting. After Moria, really, crafting gets less exciting. After Moria, yeah, after Moria is when crafting gets less exciting to me. But especially after level 100, or starting with level 100 is when crafting gets extra boring to me. Did I just turn that in?
Not surrender, Osgiliath.
Okay, I almost did. I just accepted it. I'll just have to do something. I could filter those quests temporarily, but I shouldn't run into the quartermasters too much. It's just if I'm going on clicking things, continuing quests and all that sort of stuff, I could accidentally do something like that. Yeah, it has this, it's not pointless, but it feels pointless. I agree with that feeling, Victor. Here's Gandalf, the guy in the thumbnail. He was presenting the blue skies to you all, and I accidentally hit escape. I've actually been trying to pay attention to stuff like that and stay invested into the story, I guess, but I escaped out of that cutscene. Here's Peregrine Took. We're getting close to Mordor. I know I have a quest in Osgiliath, but actually let me check my deed log, see if there's anything. Quests of Osgiliath and Crossroads. So I might be interested in doing those, but I want to see where the book quest leads before I do that. Actually, I want to see something else as well. This is defeat foes in North Ithilien, so it looks like I'll probably go back to Osgiliath, see what sort of quests they have to offer there. They're a little bit more exciting than Pelennor. Here's the herbalist. We have not looked at an herbalist yet. Let's see what the great flower picking gear looks like today. Maybe I can see at this level 105 since he's here, if he has any of the new stuff. He does have flower picking gear, it looks like. He has some crit defense, crit rating, physical mitigation, a lot of mitigation and crit rating stuff. A lot of mitigation in his. It seemed kind of odd to be a champion tank, but maybe they just want the mitigation and are already capped on most of their DPS stats. Anyway, it was nice of them to have some gear. Let me inspect them. So yeah, a bunch of flower extracts. You can turn in, I think, what are these, like the, oh yeah, you can turn in the different extracts. Wait, verdant into sapphire, so you can turn 250 of one of them. It takes 250 like umbar to get one sapphire and 250 verdant. Oh, so the, okay, I'm reminding myself how all this works right now. So crimson, verdant, and umbar you can turn into amber or sapphire. Now I don't know the exact use for the amber and sapphire yet, but it looks like the armor takes the sapphire and amber. And then I think these have crafting mats for, yeah, these are the verdant, umbar, and crimson, umber rather, amber. So it's umber and amber, okay. And then here's the essence armor, the good old flower armor. I would get this medium one and just fill it with essences basically, and that's how that would work. The main concern is how it would work with jewelry to completely maximize. There's also some kind of uglyish cloaks for me. Nothing I would wear on this character. Also there are two. There's this herb master. We talked to the herbalist. This is the essence stuff, which takes wild essences. I think these are crafted barter, maybe? Barter items? I don't know where you exactly get those. Don't exactly remember. Oh yeah, there are also these golden rings, which take a lot of the flower stuff. That's a lot of morale and agility though. And it has 3 essence slots. But yeah, this is the level 105 gear, and you get it all from flower picking. Now this set armor they have, I wonder if this is the raid armor, and then you upgrade it with the flower stuff. Is how you get the set. I don't know that I'd even be interested in that. So yeah, this is Dread Terror upgrade armor. Mainly would be interested in that for the set bonuses. So this is the raid armor that upgrades. At least you need the raid armor baseline for that. I don't remember exactly how everything worked in this update. I just remember it being flower picking, and you can get a baseline set of armor that doesn't require running the raid or anything like that from just flower picking. And then it looks like flower picking can also upgrade the raid armor, which I know a lot of people didn't like. Some people might have liked it. to me, overall, it's not the most sense-making thing that you can get really great armor from flower picking. But as an option to get, yes, this is actual flower picking. I can go, we're going to have a flower picking stream in the future. I'm trying to build that up to be just as exciting of a thing. But if I went around North Ithilien, maybe even out here I could just go briefly.
Gondor needs your aid.
There are actual flowers you pick, and that is how you get this gear. And I will try, just for you, to try to find a flower that we can pick. I think relatively good locations are in the northern part of North Ithilien, but I don't know if it actually matters. Oh, here is one. I just came across one. There it is, horsetail. So you pick flowers like this, and you just pick enough of these flowers, and eventually you'll be able to barter for your good armor. Got 2 files of umbar extract. Umber. I keep calling it umbar. That's because there's a place called Umbar, like way down here. Anyway, I'm planning on doing that for a stream in the future. Hopefully my character doesn't have allergies. That could cause some issues in North Ithilien with all the flower picking. There's some corrupted looking trees over there. I don't know why they just look corrupted, a little bit evil turned to me. Yeah, Pettigrew, exactly what you're saying is you can't imagine flower picking for raid gear is I think what a lot of people thought of it. So for me, I didn't quite finish my thoughts on it. I don't mind systems like that being options for decent gear, but I don't think it should be like necessarily better than instance gear or raid gear or anything. But as a one-off thing that you could get some okayish pieces of gear for people that don't do instances and raids, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Just, I don't necessarily think it should either be the main thing. I feel like running instances, and Broad Moments mention Embers of Enchantment, that system being so much nicer, and that's what I feel like. Having a barter currency that you can actually get in instances, I feel like is a big thing as well, which would be Embers of Enchantment at the moment for 130. I feel like that's a good system because you can also get that type of stuff sometimes from quest gear. It seems like it's been a little bit inconsistent. From what I remember, Elderslate didn't have much of that, but Wells of Langflood maybe did have more of that, or Minas Morgul had more of that, and Wells of Langflood and Elderslate both had less of that maybe. So this quest for supplies, I did find 2 hidden supplies, but I still need to search 2 more places it looks like. Dome of Stars and Palace of Eldakar. The palace, I'm guessing, is in the... don't even know where because I don't see it on my tracker. It's in the far northwest. So Osgiliath itself still looks pretty much the same, I feel like. There's just a lot fewer orcs. There are a couple. But yeah, it looks pretty much the same besides the nice blue sky. It doesn't look as oppressive. Looks a little bit more ruinsy, even though it's the same ruins. Yeah, so with Embers, I don't know Embers. My character, Luiden, I got most of my gear actually from the new instance Shakalash and the new raid aimed at Demol. New-ish raid. It's not really new anymore. That's been out like 8 months, something like that. 7 months maybe. Oh, these really are hidden supplies. In fact, they are so hidden that when I go up, they move to being down. This is the exact type of quest that I wasn't really excited to do after all the stuff in After Battle Pelennor. especially with only having one quest for Osgiliath after battle, it looks like. I wouldn't mind doing this to get the deed done, but I might just skip to North Ithilien, the more exciting stuff maybe. But it sounds like from the Embers, you were able to get your Guardian from 402 gear, which sounds around the questing Minas Morgul level from what I remember, to 430, 429 and 430 for pre-raid gear. Which, yeah, is nice with that system, that you can do that. And I think it is sort of a fallback if you are unlucky with actually getting gear drops. A good thing, a good type of system to have currency like that. That's why in World of Warcraft I really liked when they had Valor and had an actual barter currency for running content, because even if you get unlucky with drops, you can eventually barter for pieces. So Brahmavitz, you also didn't have a chance to do the raid or instances. So you're the only one with 2 130s in your kinship, and yeah, that's going to be something that's a little bit tough, especially if you can't find anybody to pug. I know pugs can be a little bit iffy in LOTRO sometimes, usually that's for higher tier stuff, or back in the day when content in general on tier 1 was more difficult, but where do I need to go? Way northwest. I only need 3 more hidden supplies. There could be one in Dome of Stars I missed, but let's go ahead and head way northwest and get this quest done. I'll give this area a chance. I'll give post-battle Osgiliath a chance. But right now, it's not looking to be that fun. It's looking to be the opposite of actually pre-battle Osgiliath. It went from fun to so far not fun. But anyway, with LOTRO, Shakulash and Amdendamol, both of those, if you are interested in running them and pugging them, they're on tier 1, they're relatively easy. That it may be possible. Now as a Guardian, if you are not interested in tanking, that could definitely be an issue if you don't have a kinship, so I can definitely see that. And most people, most pugs, I really doubt would take a DPS Guardian, if you're even interested in doing that, but thought I would point it out just in case. That the new instances are relatively easy on tier 1 if you're just interested in doing them, and you can get some gear from it. But yeah, I definitely understand that if you don't have a kinship, not running those. I also should turn my lamp on real quick. Well, Vitality Essences should at least boost your morale up nicely for your Guardian tank. And yes, Victor, and wow, you did not have to do flower picking. You don't have to do flower picking in LOTRO anymore for the currency. That is just this update, the 105 stuff right before Mordor. And then after that, what we're talking about is the Embers of Enchantment, and you can get that from disenchanting new armor, level 130 armor, in the new instances. And some other various activities, you can slowly build up some embers. But mainly disenchanting armor, I guess, would be the primary source. At least primary source that I remember. Of course, weeklies and that type of stuff have them. Okay, one more supply. And yeah, finally to get to your point, Victor, I also don't know where those quests where you have to pick like 20 items up off the ground that are spread out, and like the one I'm doing right now, they're not the most exciting quest to me. And yeah, if you have a lot of people in your kinship are leveling, definitely tough for them to, say, run the new level 130 content. Also, Wildwood instances, I have not run those enough at 130 to really know what's going on with the loot, if that does disenchant for Embers of Enchantment at level 130, or if it's still crafting mats at that point, but that could be another source, the new 3-mans. The update 29 3-mans. Let's see. I'm going to be honest that I think it is better for me to muster an After Battle Minas Tirith and just take a swift travel here than try to navigate back. Use the advantages of the Warden. rather use the perks of the Warden to my advantage here. That is also how I feel, Victor. If there are 20 items for a quest and there are only exactly 20 items that you can pick up for the quest, that is also what I dislike, and that's a big part of the first zone in Mordor, and one of the reasons I dislike that. Did I go to pre-battle? I meant to go to after battle Minas Tirith. Oh, we were not supposed to see this orange tent and these skies again. We were supposed to be done with it. It's like when you go back to Moria for the Lothlorien book quests, which are also annoying quests to me. And I think I'm at a point where I need to get up and I have a... What did I put in the freezer? I put something in the freezer, I think. Also, I forget what I put in the freezer. Oh, I put ice in the freezer. So I have ice cube trays. That's how I have to get my ice. And I actually used the ice earlier and going to put more in my drink since it's so warm in here.
How may I help you?
And go ahead and travel to Osgiliath after battle. And I will be AFK for a moment while we do that. Okay, I am back. And it's really weird when ice, I guess the water has not fully freezed and there are water bubbles in the ice, but that was the state of my ice at the moment. Anyway, it still cooled my water off. And ready to continue. It is, so I'm used to, it's right now 76 it looks like, which is really warm. Somehow I'm not minding the heat. It's warm to me, very warm to me, but I am used to mid to low 60s temperature. Used to the winter. So while warmer temperatures in the spring are nice to me, not quite at a point where like temperatures outside and even the low 70s can be warm. Like a little bit too warm feeling. So defeat enemies in Osgiliath. See, that sounds more exciting. The problem still is I am only getting one quest at a time right now. Journey to the Osgiliath culverts. See, these are the things that I am encouraged to do for Virtue XP. And yes, I'm talking about Fahrenheit. I live in the US, America, where it is common to use Fahrenheit. Or I feel like I worded that. Had a poor choice of words there. But yeah, everything is in Fahrenheit over here. I think that would be a bit warmer than 20 degrees Celsius. Don't know exactly how much warmer, but 20 degrees Celsius I think is roughly 68 Fahrenheit. I think 60 Celsius would be very hot. I don't know, 130-ish? I don't know if I need to do anything in the culverts. I just saw I had a deed to go here and it does not look like I need to do anything here. Hopefully I didn't turn in the 50 quest. I did not, just got tracked. Yeah, I'm guessing 60 degrees Celsius would be like 130, 140-ish, but I'm not sure exactly. 130, 140-ish. Yeah, that is 60 degrees Celsius is 140 Fahrenheit. So I agree that I would be dead if it were 60 degrees Celsius here. Okay, so defeat enemies. Explorer of North Ithilien. Oh, you get a sapphire extract for doing that. Actually, there's a deed for foes in Osgiliath. I haven't found all that many foes yet. I know there are some in the southwest area. That is the main place I know that there are foes. At least orcs. There are a lot of other little critters. Here's some Haradrim. Wow. For some reason, I just did not expect to run into Haradrim. It makes sense that I would. There are some leftover orcs and the such, so why not Haradrim? But yeah, the problem with the questing right now that I feel like, even though this is a more exciting thing than what I was just doing, is it is one quest at a time. So 30 degrees Celsius. That sounds like it would be a little bit warmer than what it is right here. I would guess 30 degrees Celsius converts into the low 80s, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Even maybe the mid 80s. I think 40 degrees Celsius is roughly low, tiny bit over 100 maybe. But yeah, that is what it was outside today. Maybe that's what I mentioned, low 80s is what I got to outside. 86. And even in the morning, it was actually like 60 Fahrenheit here. It was fairly warm feeling, basically. Just, I'm too used to the winter temperatures. It's basically the point of all that, where even 60 degrees felt a little bit warmer than I would have liked. Somehow. Oh, I almost one-shot that thing on my war steed. Maybe I'm actually getting high enough level and have enough influence from my character's damage where that is a possibility. And don't know what my character was doing there, but something while getting off the steed. But we got that quest done, and I am a little bit south. That's why it looks so weird here. There are not many people on in my kin. It's kind of odd with my kin. The activity in general as of late has been relatively low, it seems like, with my kin. And Saturday has always been a day that's been kind of inactive, not too many people playing, even though for my streams, it seems like that is a pretty active day. And as far as other kins and general server activity, it always goes up on the weekend. But it's kind of the opposite with my kin. I guess they spend time doing other things on the weekend than during the weekday evenings is when people play. Search for the mysterious figure. Oh no. We might have to stop the questing right there. I don't know if I feel like searching and traveling in Osgiliath anymore. I could look at the LOTRO wiki. Let me go ahead and look at the LOTRO wiki and see where the quests lead to. So the quest chain is 11 1-by-1 quests. That is exactly, once again, what I don't like so much is quests where it's one quest at a time. And it looks like all 11 quests I need is one chain of doing 11 things, again, one at a time here. So I am going to skip this for now. This is not something that is exciting to me, unfortunately. And hello, Alanada. And I think I'll go ahead and start North Ithilien. So I might have had, let's see, if we go to North Ithilien, I might have already gotten a vector to North Ithilien or a North Ithilien starter quest. And I do not see one if I have. Wonder if I doubt I would have filtered that on accident. There's a small possibility that that happened. Feels something, I don't know if there is something on my hand there. So, Alanada, I'm glad you enjoyed one of the trait videos of mine. So these quests, I don't really need to do them. I just thought it would be fun to give everything after battle. Trying to do all the Gondor content essentially on my Warden, besides a few things that I have deemed skip-worthy. So that is in general what I'm doing with the quests right now. There is, compared to some areas like Central Gondor, Old Orient, and West Rohan, there's not as much need to do all these random zone quests. But it is still something I wouldn't mind doing, wouldn't mind trying on this character. And yes, I'm on a legendary server. I am on a Nor, so the level cap is 105. I don't really care about this character's XP, even if I wasn't at the level cap. For me, the biggest thing in LOTRO after, as soon as you start West Rohan, is trait points rather than character level. That to me is the biggest deal, actually. Trait points and then I guess Virtue XP on the side. I don't really quest in the game, again, at this point for XP anymore, which is really weird to me. Okay, while we're here, and while I have my map home off cooldown and all that stuff, or while I can travel here, while we're at the crossroads in North Ithilien, which is a zone that just came out on the server, we are near Minas Morgul, which of course is in the game now, and on another server like Arkenstone, I could travel here and did all the Minas Morgul questing, of course, on Luiden. But it's something we can actually go to on the server now until it boots you out, which probably just takes a couple of seconds. But I want to see how far I can get into Minas Morgul until it boots me out. So that's when you get to a restricted area. So there's like a line right there-ish when you go to the restricted area. Oh yeah, no more blue skies. That takes you straight to the Minas Morgul skies. Also, there's some really funky things going on with the trees being very pixelated and loading in and out all weird right here. Don't know what that's about, but it's an issue I'm definitely noticing right now. Okay, let's see how far in we can get into it. It's going to boot me to Kellendam very quickly. I wouldn't mind trying. I wonder if I could get the Stable Master. I got close. I might actually be able to get that Stable Master if I tried, give it a proper try. But here we have some purplish skies. That is the color of the skies in Hero of the Wind. Pinkish skies, maybe? Purplish pink. Not really too blue. The clouds actually look somewhat blue. But the sky in general and the zone and a lot of Elvish zones for some reason is like a pinkish purple. Did I go to pre-battle? I might have done pre-battle Minas Tirith on accident again. Having long load times right now. Probably because it is pre-battle Minas Tirith. We need to go to after battle. I wonder if I should just move the after battle one to the left. My setup with these musters is very bad. And yeah, one does not simply walk into Mordor or Minas Morgul. Minas Morgul is a little bit easier to but still, I don't want us to do that right now. We have to go through Mordor first on the server. This guy should load in soon, unless this is actually what it looks like. I really feel like the skybox still needs to load in. I am curious on how long that takes. Because even the sun is, you see a little bit of it. Maybe this is just what it looks like? I don't know, I need to go to the Stable Master anyway, but I want to try to see the moment the sky loads in. But maybe it just won't. Anyway, back to Osgiliath. Minor setback, but worth the adventure to me. So spells, you were wondering if I would recommend doing deeds as you discover them, or go through quests and coming back to grind them later on. And the second option there is, in general, what I would recommend. The main deeds to do while leveling is the quest deeds in a zone. So as you're just like leveling, and you discover like a complete so many quests on like North Downs, for example, those are the ones that I find usually better to do. The other ones, exploration and slayer deeds, are usually easier to come back and grind later on, or maybe when you finish the zone, finish all the questing you want to do in a zone. That is when you could go back and do the exploration and slayer. So if you do the slayer, like if you discover a slayer deed to defeat like 100 beasts in a zone, usually it would be better to complete all the questing in the zone, and then if you still need beasts, for example, that is when you could go back and do it. Because some of the questing, or through the questing, you might actually kill 100 beasts, and if you focused on it before doing all the questing that had you kill all those beasts, it would, I guess, be a little bit less efficient use of your time. And the cat is back. I don't even remember when she got up earlier, but eventually she did. Right now her tail is where her butt is, basically on my arm. Okay, head to north. We need to defeat foes throughout North Ithilien. We should get a starter North Ithilien quest here as well. This NPC, this is the start of North Ithilien through the Gardens of Gondor. This will have some good old North Ithilien armor, non-flower gear. So North Ithilien, this is a zone that ideally I would like to do. I wasn't really ready to do all of this today. I expected Pelennor to, I don't know. I just expected today, I guess, with the questing to be a little bit different, but it's okay that I go ahead and start North Ithilien, I think. I'll just have to update the title of the stream. Also, North Ithilien is a very pretty zone, I think. I think that orc is going to give me a quest whenever he dies. The Defiler there. The Grip of Mordor. This is a repeatable quest, it looks like. There's a lore master here, don't know where he went, but would have been nice for him to get some. There's open tapping here, so it would have been nice for him to get some of that. What I do when I'm questing is just defeat a bunch of enemies, and then I will get my quest items to do my interactions and the such. But yeah, the questing in North Ithilien, for all I know, could be fun, but the issue I ran into, I don't know if I missed something the first time I tried this zone, is it seemed like there were 5 quests throughout the entire North Ithilien zone, which doesn't make much sense. But that is what I remember my experience being, that I just like, there were only a few quests and then I randomly ran out of quests. I think I mentioned that in my zone review that I don't think I got a complete experience here because of that, from what I remember. I remember doing the starter quest though, and even going to these different paths and the such. But yeah, we have a lot of quests to defeat, a lot of things along this road. Grip of Mordor is a bunch of places. I think Creeping Decay is the only quest in the specific area that I need to get, which is maybe Defiler specifically. So Creeping Decay. Also need to destroy Duoth's Spires, which I'm targeting one. Don't even know where it is though. So, bro moments, he said you don't know what to do is 4:11 a.m. That sounds like sleeping time to me. As happy as I am for you to have joined the stream and be chatting here. That really does sound like time to sleep to me. So, Alanada, you started recently with LOTRO as well, and you go for the quests and do the Slayer as you go along with those, do the Slayer and Explore. So mid-level word and trait tree, Tyler, first, what do you mean by mid-level? Because I would actually consider 100 plus late level, but I would consider anything maybe 50 to 100 being mid-level in LOTRO. So in general, before level 80, I would usually recommend the red line. At very low levels, yellow line could be useful, but if you want the range part, you could go yellow line. Just the big thing with yellow line is getting barbed javelins, and then at higher level, you could get some other things. But if you want something ranged, getting the barbed javelins trait is the biggest thing in the yellow line, and in general, following a path like this could be good. Otherwise, in the red line, which is probably what most Wardens would use, it's pretty simple going down, pretty straightforward. Get all the ones with 5 that I have, and then the one with 2, and then this thing with 3, then Recklessness. I know this is very short. I think a lot of the Warden ones are pretty old with my more in-depth videos. But yeah, this is what I have for my red build, for example. And as far as maxing out the red line, I would not recommend that. A lot of the lines are useful, especially at lower levels. They just aren't that useful. They're kind of useless. But if you're looking for a regular melee warden, then the red line, an option like that would be good. I could go a little bit more in detail, all the choices, but then that would essentially derail the stream a little bit too much, I feel like. But I hope that helped. Seeing the traits, the main things really with the red line is getting the bleed damage, physical mastery, light type damage, and then all the stuff that helps your damage over time, since a lot of your damage is based on your damage over time skills, something like dot critical chance, dot critical damage, dot pulses. And then at that point you have some leftover traits, and basically the only thing useful there is gambit builder damage, which isn't even that significant. Just not many better options at that point. I know in this build I have spear sweeping. That is something you would really only want if you're doing group content, and essentially group content where enemies stay alive for a long time. And if you're even a fan of that mechanic, it's not the biggest deal. It's kind of inconsistent and RNG based, but you can get a lot of damage from it. Anyway, after that, you get Recklessness, and those are basically the only useful traits in the red line. That is when you can expand to the blue line, and at level 50, I'm not sure if you'd have enough trait points at that point, but getting the light type damage in the blue line is a good goal. And then after that, you can finish out in the yellow line, and actually getting momentum is very useful because you could swap stances between ranged and melee a lot and get a 20% melee damage buff when you do that. Now the big thing at level 80, this is quite a ways away, but I think it's level 80 when you get this gambit. It's 3-2-3-1. And the range version specifically, you have to be in the range stance. That does a lot of damage over time, and if you see me playing this Warden, when I'm not fighting signatures especially, I will just use that gambit, and that is all I will use on an enemy, and then just fight other enemies, because it is such a strong gambit. Even on signatures, it might be enough on its own to kill them. So that's a little bit of a change, I guess, at level 80. But for skirmishes, what would I say the skirmish is most important for? In general, skirmishes are not important anymore. They don't have as much use as they used to. It used to be skirmishes is where you got your skirmish marks, skirmish medallions, skirmish shields, that type of stuff. But then they changed the system where it was just marks, medallions, and seals, and you can get those from all sorts of group content. That said, you can still get that stuff in some deeds, I believe, from them and the such. Skirmishes can be good bits of quick XP though, especially while leveling. If you're maybe wanting to skip a zone or get up in your level a little bit for whatever you're doing, you could fit in a skirmish. Okay, I think I destroyed enough of those now. Yeah, the Grip of Mordor, all these other things are a little bit further into the zone. Ranger encampment at Hineth Anun, which is way up there. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. We'll keep that quest track, but what I want to go is North Ithilien. And yeah, I have all these other quests in North Ithilien. Through the gardens. Meet him at Alan. So Alan, that's where we need to go. So we still need to go over here. The Grip of Mordor, just defeat orcs and Easterlings, that'll be easy. The green one, Overgrown and Overrun is the big thing I need to do right now. And the patrolling here. So Creeping Decay, untrack that. And yeah, Overgrown, Overrun. These bushes, these overgrown branches, the pretty bushes are the ones I'm destroying. That is really unfortunate. They're actually, I have not seen, wait. They're the ugly bushes. I can't believe they're making me destroy. These are, compared to the ugly bushes, these are a lot prettier, and even being as big and overgrown as they are, they're much more appealing than the ugly bushes. But I will say there are relatively few ugly bushes here. And in this particular area, that's more of a little grass patch than an ugly bush to me. It's definitely not one of the ugly bushes. But of all the things they have me doing, is clearing these bushes rather than going back in all the areas before this and getting rid of the ugly bushes. Wow, these bushes actually take you up on a nice path straight to where you need to go. Also, I should probably play with floating names on in this zone because we have to go flower picking. Not only are we going to be clearing bushes, defeating enemies, many spiders and beasts. I wonder why they combine those two. That seems kind of random that they would combine spiders and beasts. But we should go flower picking, get all these files and things. I don't know how much flower picking I will actually do. I don't know if I care enough about this character's gear for the 105 stuff, if it's that important or not. That's still something I have to look into, but it would be good for me as I pass these flowers, I think, to go ahead and get them picked. Okay, so yeah, with skirmishes, that is the way in. Yeah, leveling up Barrow Downs is a great place to level. There are also a lot of good deeds that you can get done in Barrow Downs. I know that's something we were talking about, and get reputation for the Men of Bree, which is very useful because as a non-man race, you can use the tokens you get from that, the Men of Bree tokens, and if you get Kindred Reputation, I believe you can get a port to Bree, which I don't have on this character, and I should be getting on this character. I remember on my Burglar, this was actually, or Burglar and Champion, this was actually a relatively tough camp. I just remember, I guess with my characters, their gear and trait point situation, they were relatively weak. Also didn't have, at that point, too strongly imbued allies. It was not as big of a deal as if you were higher level. Also, LOTRO was crashing for me. Probably crashed, I would guess. Oh. There it goes. It came back up. So got Grip of Mordor done. I need to stretch my legs again. I'm sitting at a very weird angle right now. Okay, I think that's a little better. Anyway, I need to sit and lean back and have my legs stretched for a bit. So in this camp, what are we doing? That's an interesting weapon. Orcish axe. I remember a lot of the roving threat trolls actually using this. They used axe like this, bigger axe than that, but they were of the same style where it was like a saw blade lodged between a split branch like that. I thought it was an interesting weapon. Wow, my inventory is so clean. I didn't know that's something I could say about this character's inventory ever again. I don't see any blue skies right now. Also, I did not realize you could look this far into the Pelennor. So I have been playing LOTRO. I have not played without taking breaks. I took a lot of breaks in Rohan and Gondor eras. And yes, posture check is good now that I am leaning back. I know I fall like way down in the face cam when I sit like this. That's why it's something I don't always want to do, but it is comfortable. And I'm still, compared to having my legs up and not on a leg rest, I'm not very far away from the desk, which would be a concern, like with streaming recording. So yeah, I don't know why it's cloudy, if it's something specifically where I am or something's odd with this skybox. It also looks foggy off in the distance. Let me check my settings. Object draw distance, my landscape draw distance is very high. Something just feels off right now. This is, yeah, I sit cross-legged a lot. But something feels off with the skybox, and it's been like that ever since, not ever since I got to Minas Tirith, I don't think, but something's feeling off to me. I don't know if it's just where I am. What is this? But what do I need to do for the quest here? And by the way, this is a prime example of the L-Line Warden and Ranger's Island Challenge. Just use that on all the enemies and they just eventually fall down in defeat. Chris, that sounds good that it is bedtime for you at 3:30 a.m. That is so late. I was almost up that late on Thursday. Usually I don't stay up that late. But thank you for joining the stream, even if it was so late. I hope you have a good night as well. Let's get this pile of skulls. And I used the wrong gambit there. Master almost didn't like taking advantage of open tapping. I was just super slow with killing those orcs. If I was actually using good gambits and not using bad gambits the whole time, could have run into the issue of him not getting credit for those. I still need to get a lot of skull piles. I only have 3 of those. I feel like I'm not getting good progress on the quest items, paying attention a little bit more to them right now. But just overall, I don't feel like I'm getting much good progress on that. Yeah, for some reason I have vivid memories of this particular camp on both my Burglar and Champion, and it being relatively difficult when it came out. Back in the old days when landscape could be challenging. There are some points when landscape can be a little bit difficult if you're super undergeared, or if you have a very poorly imbued LI and don't have starlight crystals on it. It's when landscape can seem a little bit sloggy and maybe difficult. Sluggish rather than sloggy. Okay, got a couple more skull piles, but I still need orcish axes and such. Not lavish chests, don't need those. Prefer to not have broken legs. So Jigsaw, you have gone to sleep and woken up at every hour of the day over the years, so none of that phases you now. Yeah, I am somebody that does a lot better going to bed early because I seem to always wake up early. It is very hard for me to wake up late, sleep in, essentially. There have been times the past few months that I've actually slept past 8 a.m. which it's still unusual for me to stay asleep that late. rather than that long. But even if I go to sleep at something like 2 or 3 a.m., which is very rare that I actually do stay up that late, I still wake up early, always the same time-ish in the morning. Sometimes things catch up to me though, and I can go to sleep at like 10 p.m. I was just here just at that X. Oh, here's some rock rose. Yay, flower picking. Got all these, need a whole bunch of them. I can eventually get some of the flower picking gear. But yeah, that is the source of these amber, crimson, umber, verdant extracts and all that sort of stuff. I think crimson, verdant, and umber are the same ones you can get. But yeah, with sleeping, sometimes things will catch up to me and I'll go to bed at like 10 a.m. and wake up close to 8 a.m. 10 p.m. rather. I don't sleep almost 24 hours. 10 p.m. to almost 8 a.m. Roughly like 10-ish hours of sleep. Sleeping is boring though. I prefer to be awake over sleeping, but it's something that is necessary. So, Jigsaw, you just stay up until you're tired, so it's usually an extra 1 to 2 hours added to each night. And yeah, I think that is something about the day, sleep, night cycle that I maybe observe is assuming I would also adjust my wake up time. I would probably naturally do something like that, just get an extra 1 to 2 hours every day, and eventually after almost a month, cycle through and be back on the same somewhat schedule. But for me, I just can't sleep during the day and always wake up early. Relatively early. Again, it's been a little bit different, I guess, as of late for me, so still need one more orcish axe, but not this one. I think if I actually look at the map, looks like to the east is where I could get that. There are still 2 overgrown branches, which are going to be to the east as well. So I should have some good progress. Let's try south before I go north, just in case the orcish axe is here, and it is not. There's a Veltling. What is a Veltling? I don't think I've got a Veltling before. I feel like there should be a deed to get every different type of flower. I don't know how many different types of flower there are in North Ithilien and the Waste, but if I were designing this, I would have a deed to get every different one. That way you can get more Virtue XP and the such. Which, by the way, I've capped my Virtue XP, so we can go to Wit, which is also supposed to be equipped. I don't want... Confidence is my second one. Don't want that one. I want Wit as my second one. I have to unequip Wit. There we go. Valor, and then Determination, and then Confidence. That is the order I want to get these guys in. That is actually one thing with this character's Virtue XP. I actually would rather not get Virtue XP and save any Virtue XP sources for later, so I can just make sure I don't have to go to any of my backup stuff, just to save me a little bit. Here is the axe, and then there should be a couple of these overgrown branches from the roadway of North Ithilien. I might have to dislike North Ithilien just because of this quest, to be honest. Clearing the overgrown branches. It's not like it's a boring quest, but it is a quest. I really feel like if there are any branches, bushes, anything I should be clearing and ridding the land of and destroying, it should be the ugly bushes. Oh, so many flowers. So Virtue XP is mainly from deeds. The login rewards, the Hobbit gifts, they can give these Virtue XP tokens. And then also missions would be my other primary source. Oxlip, so many flowers here. That's why I should have floating names on once again so I'd actually see what's going on with those. And that is essentially how you get your raid gear. You just run around for flowers in the zone. Just keep on running around picking up flowers and there you go. At least that's how it was back in the day. It's still the same gear, but I just don't know its relative strength right now with all the stat changes and stuff. Also, North Ithilien, you might notice with the little circle quest, like that where it's a polygon rather than a ring, how small it is. This zone is very large and displays very relatively smallly on the map. Like compared to South Ithilien, it's a little bit similar, but I think a little bit smaller displaying even than that. It shows a huge area for the map, but it's a long zone, north to south stretch. So I guess that's just the way it is here. Anyway, got that quest done, and we need to patrol a few areas, one to the southeast here. Again, looking for flowers on the way. Let's see if there is actually a deed for the different flowers, and it does not look like there is, or if it is, I have already completed it and there is not. That's just the type of thing that I feel like would be a little bit helpful with Virtue XP. And since I'm always complaining about I don't mind the stuff to do part of Virtue XP, but the necessity of it, especially doing it while you're leveling, is just another system. When there are already so many long-term character progression systems, it's something that you have to do a lot of, get a lot of Virtue XP. I keep missing, I don't know if it's just a little bit of extra lag going on, but I notice I'm missing some of my game builders relatively frequently here. But yeah, this flower picking will actually continue into the waste. Oddly enough, the waste, non-green zone, has flowers as well that give the same stuff as far as I know. I don't know if it gives more of the extracts or not, but it gives the same stuff. Yeah, these are all right here. Getting mostly Crimson and Umber, and then Verdant is the one I'm not getting as much of. Amber is one of the bigger extracts that is, I guess, better. That's the one you actually barter for the gear pieces and the such, the Amber one. I don't mean to yawn because I'm bored, but it is getting relatively late talking about all this sleep and my sleep schedule. As I mentioned, Thursday I had to stay up late, and I got relatively little sleep that night. That was my cat's water bowl. Apparently there was something I missed up here. I thought I got what I needed for the quest, but I guess not. So the stream might end relatively earlier than I usually would have a stream end, especially like on a Saturday evening like this. So just as a heads up, I'll probably be wrapping up with a stream relatively soon. So while thinking about that, I wasn't really thinking about it getting too late since I've only been playing 2.5 hours, which is actually, compared to back in the day, this would be a relatively longish stream, but I know a lot of my streams recently have been a lot longer. And yes, my cat's water bowl makes a noise because it's a gravity one. One of the water bowls they have, at least. So my cats really like the kitchen sink, and if I have any bowls with water in the kitchen, that is their favorite source of water. So I put their water bowl up there, and then I still have a couple of their water bowls spread about. Yeah, the skybox looks like it's not loading all the way or something. I know it's pink right now, but it just does not look like it's actually ever loaded properly. And it's really weird. I almost feel like I need to try to go to the Morgul Vale again just so we can reset the skybox. Oh. See, I'm skipping over the shift 1 there again. I don't mean to use Fierce Resolve in a situation like that. And one reason I'm running on foot, just to point out again, is just in case I run into some of the flowers. I'm not running into any right now. I also turned floating names off, so maybe I was running into some. Here's some Oxlip, which should have some nice flower stuff for our raid gear. It's something that's, again, a little bit neat of something you can just collect throughout the zone. Give it a little bit of a different flavor and really build the Gardens of Gondor for the zone, but being a primary source for end-game gear, that is the part that I'm not a big fan of with the flower picking here. It is really looking a lot like South Ithilien at this point with the sky the way it is. We are not having the blue skies we were promised, and with the skybox looking all funky right now, and it just doesn't seem like it's loading properly. In the time of the day, it's got a little bit of a yellowish cast on the landscape. It is feeling a little bit like South Ithilien, still a little bit brighter overall, I think. The default horse riding mechanics with the Rohan ones, I'm not sure, Jigsaw, what you are actually talking about there. Oh, you mean the default like horse with the war steeds? And I think a lot of people would dislike that. In fact, I think maybe the other way around. They could just replace the war steed, keep its speed, and maybe have the acceleration component, but just let you turn essentially instantly, in a lot smoother turn at least. Would be nice, if not instant. I feel like that would be an option. That's something they could do to improve the war steed. Here's Oxlip. Cannot believe how clean my inventory is. LOTRO points. Okay, so as we're getting relatively close, I guess, to being wrapped up with the stream, I need to go way west over here. For some reason, I thought it was a lot closer to this objective for the quest. How does this keep tracking? Maybe because I keep getting Host of the West silver pieces. I keep wondering how it's getting on my tracking there, and I think that is probably how. Yeah, having just enough lag with my Gambit builders that it's messing up a lot of the Gambits I'm trying to build, because I definitely didn't want to use Gambit default there, for example. Yeah, with the war steed, I don't mind that you get a better steed at higher level. I get the idea of unification because there is a lot of that going on with allies. There are basically two ally systems. There's the pre-imbuement and post-imbuement system, so I think that's one of the goals whenever they do this ally revamp, is that they are trying to, it sounds like, have that be one system. These are friendly people. They don't look the most friendly, but they're not enemies at least. There's a place I need to scout. So yeah, those quests are all ready to turn in, it looks like. So we'll have all those to turn in right up there. And for the rest of the stream, I think that is all I'm going to do. Go up there and turn those in. Maybe try to hit the warband along the way. So with the current discount, I probably don't plan to get anything Alanada. I might get the Mithril, or in general when Mithril coins go on sale, that is one thing I do like getting, but don't plan to get that. And that would be the only thing of the current sales, since there is no big anniversary sale or anything like that I plan on getting. For people that raid and do high tier content there, getting the, here is Bitter Gall, I would rather have pulled the warband a little bit differently, but it is something I wanted to do. Here's a spider. There's a spider slayer deed I know. Okay, let's slow the warband. I wasn't quite fully prepared to go into a fight like this, but we'll get her down. Yeah, the bank storage. The shared storage spaces. Something that would definitely be useful for me, but that's... I just need better management is the more of the issue. Yeah, mythical coins, that is something I do like to get when it's on sale. It's just, right now I have a lot of those still on the server, so I don't feel the need for them, and don't feel the need for them on Arkenstone either. Wow, my damage has actually gone up, I've noticed, compared to level 100. Killing a mob with this much HP was a lot slower back at level 100, so my damage has actually gone noticeably up just on the landscape doing something like this. And we got that warband done. I don't know how many warbands there are here, but we got one of them. Just to remind myself, we are in Gondor, we're in March of the Kings, and there are... Here it is, the warbands. There are 3 warbands, it looks like. Warrior of Minas Morgul. Catmaster of Kundalar. It's the other one. Yeah, saving your LOTRO points for the expansions is probably a good idea if you don't want to spend real money on those. The Helm's Deep expansion on the LOTRO store is really expensive. That could be a tough one to save up for. That is one thing though, if you progress slowly in LOTRO and level slowly and do like completionist style playstyle and level alts, you can actually accumulate enough LOTRO points to buy pretty much every expansion as you get to it. So just like slowly accumulate them and slowly build up your characters or whatever to those points. It's something that is feasible, that could make it actually relatively cheaper to get all the expansions than it may seem like. I think that's something that sometimes people forget. You can use your LOTRO points and the ones you get from being VIP for doing that and getting the expansions. Now there are also a lot of nice quality of life things that you can spend your LOTRO points on instead, but probably a lot of people would rather get those. Yeah, deeds are good for LOTRO points. When we did the deed stream, I don't remember how many LOTRO points I got. The 2 deed days, I honestly don't remember the total of LOTRO points. After all that, I should remember. Yeah, the skybox, it's not even showing the stars right now, which it should be in the zone as far as I know. All my experiences in the zone in the past, that has been a feature of the zone that you can see the sky, and it's just bugged right now, I guess, not showing for me for some reason. There's another warband here, Ogner. Let's go ahead and get that one since we got the other one. But while we're heading to this guy, I probably want to go ahead and do some outro type stuff. So as a reminder, with any potential microphone issues that have been going on the stream, I don't know if there is any buzzing. When I'm talking is probably when the buzzing is more noticeable, since I added a filter on OBS. But I am going to be upgrading my microphone in the hopefully next couple days or something. Here it is, a troll, which has less than half the morale. Morale isn't always the best way to judge an enemy, but it can give me an estimate of how long it might take me to kill the thing, and is an estimate for difficulty. But sometimes things with low morale can do a lot of damage. I think I'm a good example of that, actually. Any character in LOTRO, just how much damage I was able to do and have relatively little morale. But thinking about NPCs, it is a good general way to estimate their difficulty is their morale. And that guy went down a lot faster than the spider, which was a nemesis, I believe. Yeah, the wallet upgrade is one of those examples of a very nice quality of life thing. If you play alts, getting the account-wide journeyman running can be very useful. That's one of the best things I spent LOTRO points on. And if you want to level a character and not deal with trait points, virtues, and imbued allies and all that sort of stuff, and a lot of the starter grind with that stuff, then getting a level 120 Valor boost can be very helpful as well. Alright, we are almost here. I would like to go ahead and actually get to that Stable Master before I actually get totally wrapped up with a stream. But in review today, we actually did have Blue Skies return. Right now the skybox is a little bit bugged and it's nighttime anyway. But we should be able to see stars either way, which we are not. See the night sky.
The deeds of men and orc, fair or foul. Will you help bear my burden, friend? Faith alone will not stop the enemy.
There's a guy I need to talk to here, and aha. There's a little thing right here, okay. There's the people I need to talk to. I was like, that looks like a Haradrim or Easterling or something. It's a Haradrim. Is he friendly? Is it Warrior of Harad? Oh, Haradrim, another Haradrim warrior decided to attack me. Now this guy has a quest. Click Marrow Root. Oh, there's more than one prisoner I guess I have to question? Or now I just had to question one. I have no idea what's going on with these quests here. One massive problem. That is the name of the quest, Marrow Root. There's one Marrow Root. So maybe these are quests we will get to later. I want to get to the Stable Master and go ahead and pick that up for the main last thing to finish with the stream. But just to point out some upcoming content. Okay, first review. Today we started with the After Battle Pelennor and then did a little bit of anniversary stuff and did a lot of more After Battle Pelennor, some After Battle Osgiliath, and started North Ithilien. That is the big adventure that I'm going on next, is going to be North Ithilien. Questing and getting back to that, and so far it has been more enjoyable than the After Battle Pelennor, which was dragging on a little bit long to me. And After Battle Osgiliath is the exact type of questing I do not like, that could have potentially reminded me of West Rohan. He orders me to hold. I feel like ignoring him if he's going to order me to hold. Oh, not allowed while mounted. Oh no. Oh, this takes me to North Ithilien. That's actually very convenient. That is where I wanted to go. Except now the screen is black. Nice waterfall there. There is a milestone here. That is the big thing I need, actually, so that will work for what I want right here.
It is good to see an ally in such dire hour.
Gloves, yeah, the new gloves. And then for future content with this Warden, I will pick back up in North Ithilien, of course. And tomorrow I do plan to stream again in the afternoon time, actually. I'm going to try, I think right now, squeezing it in at maybe... Actually, I'm not entirely sure tomorrow. I'll have to look at things. But ideally, I will be streaming tomorrow. Just don't know exactly when. If I do. I would like to stream tomorrow. I just don't know for sure that I can, basically. And I don't know when, but probably afternoon or evening time. There's just the chance that it could be a little bit of an earlier stream at this point. And then Monday, I will not stream, but should still be doing some things then, if my whole microphone stuff does actually come in. I don't wish to hear his tale right now. And no, not 24 hours tomorrow, that is for sure. Here is North Ithilien, looking at it through the waterfall, just like negative colors that it almost looks like. Assume there's a better way out. Like, I think there's an actual way out. This would probably be it. Yeah. It's been too long since I've been here. And I think I wonder how I missed a lot of these quests. because I don't remember getting to these quests. I remember doing this zone, doing the quests in here, relatively more than a lot of the other stuff, but I don't remember any of the quests in this section. I remember quests down here, and I remember quests way up there. It's like this huge section of the zone that I thought had no quests, and I thought it was really odd. So there must have been something I had missed, and all the times I tried this on like 3 alts or something like that. Probably actually 3 or 4 characters I tried the questing here since I was having a lot of fun in LOTRO. But I missed all those quests every time on any of the characters. Okay, so also got the Stable Master, that is a good thing as well. And let's try to fix the skybox. Not to North Ithilien. Actually, let's just travel back here to Osgiliath. And the very last thing to do with this stream is try to go to the Morgul Vale and see if I can pick up the Osgiliath Stable Master, see how that goes. And yeah, that is in general what is coming up. I do want to have a video Monday. That is the thing that is coming Monday. One of the tier lists, I believe it will be the class favorites tier list, and then after that one, I should finally have the leveling one, the highly requested one. I should have that after the favorites. Yeah, the sky is still not actually loaded. As far as I know, it's not loaded. I don't think it's supposed to be like this in here. There is a little bit, you can see a little bit of the night sky. But it looks a little bit different. It almost looks like speckles on my monitor, but I think you can actually see it in the game. Enter the Camp of the Host or North Ithilien. I think I already entered that. So that's how you get the Ithilien essence fragments. Wow. This is a huge mess here in North Ithilien with just all the flower picking and the essences and that sort of stuff. I remember it feeling like, compared to the current level 130 stuff, actually a lot larger grind for the gear. Even though right now, for getting all the way to 130, I feel like there's actually a bigger grind with. By the way, this is entering Minas Morgul, trying to get the Stable Master guy real quick. Oh no, I'm too slow. It was right there too. I should have had that. That was totally my fault for being slow. So here's the night sky. That is what we're supposed to see. So let's try to go back there one more time. I just did really bad. I should have used F10 to target the nearest NPC and then just used you. Or I could dismount right there. But I really want to try to get the Stable Master, so we'll do one more try on that. It's like running an instance if you're doing a boss fight and keep on wiping. I've wiped essentially 2 times so far if you consider each try a wipe right here. I wonder why I just randomly got these new quests. But okay. And assisting the herbalist is just complete quest for herbalist of Minas Tirith and Ithilien. Oh, you can actually get on your war steed in here? I guess it's not considered indoors. For the sake of the war steed, which is really weird, but nice for travel. There is the quartermaster, don't want to talk to them. But yeah, it's kind of like wiping on instances and keep on trying the boss fight. Something like that, with trying to get this Stable Master that I won't even be able to get to.
These are
Rather, that I won't be able to travel to, but something I can try to get just for fun, to go ahead and have it. Now, yeah, I already covered future content. I also mentioned that I would have a little bit of a break from YouTube. I'm thinking that will be in a couple weeks from now is when that will be going on. So I don't know if I will have a full update video just for that little break, but it could be a good idea for me to have an update video for summer 2021. But I actually don't know how summer will go. So if I made a video like that, it'd just be a bunch of don't knows for what's going on. So I don't know if it's worth dedicating a whole video to a channel update for that. Oh, we have the night sky back, so that did fix the skybox, by the way. Traveling completely out of the zone, getting kicked back to Iriluen and Celodum, and that fixed the skybox, so we won't catch the blue skies again, but we did catch the nice open sky, still open night sky. So there's Minas Morgul. You got some nice, can't think of the name of it right now. It is, I don't know why I can't think of the name of these things, but they're on the shore, lighthouses. Yeah, it's like a lighthouse just sliding up there. Okay, let's try this one more time. Hopefully it doesn't boot me faster. Okay, I got him targeted. You have not discovered locations connected to that yet. At least I clicked him. Did not say I discovered him, but I was able to click him. He didn't have the blue, like, discoverable light. But at least I reached my objective and got to him. Now, I will chill in Celodum with this character. That way I can get, whenever I play next, I can go ahead and get these subscriber town services, because there's a convenient NPC right here. You can actually travel on the server to a restricted area and get ported right next to one of these NPCs if you're an elf. And we have a bunch of level 105 gear. I might look at that a little bit on my own. But Essence says, I do have some 105 gear. I just remembered plain old stat pieces that I could actually equip on this character, like this earring, which is a little bit of a downgrade in DPS, but that is a huge chunk of vitality I could get. It upgrades my total morale by over 2,000, like 2,200, so that's a lot from one piece of gear. That's the type of stuff I can maybe look forward to at 105. Anyway, as far as this stream goes, Lighthouse of Minas Morgul, exactly, is what I was trying to get to, but going very slow there. But anyway, I will be back hopefully tomorrow with this Warden, continuing North Ithilien and getting through. That is my current plan, to go ahead and get through the questing on this Warden with the new stuff. And yeah, that is all. So as far as the stream goes, I hope you all enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun getting back to playing LOTRO. It's been a few days since I've been able to play any game and been able to do any content or anything like that. So I had a lot of fun here. I wish I could have gotten to it a little bit earlier, stay a little bit longer, but it is sleep time for me. And again, I'll be back tomorrow. So if you all did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content. And thanks for joining and chatting and watching, everyone.